Ayo. What's poppin', Five? What's good, y'all? Hey, welcome to stream. It is Sunday, July 5th, and I decided to rock out a stream today. So how is everybody doing? Welcome to the show. This is Debate a Leftist Live, a live call-in debate show where you can pick up the phone and call me to argue about a litany of topics. You want to know what those topics are? I'll tell you. But first, the phone number is 219-327-8005. The number again, just so you guys have it, 219-327-8005. Call in to debate using that number. Here's our topics, guys. 1, capitalism is failing people. 2, systemic racism never ended. 3, Trump is a terrible president. 4, gender affirming care saves lives, minors included. 5, trans men and women are men and women. And 6, Christianity is not true. If you want to debate any of those, pick the phone up. 219-327-8005. Till then, we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna be here. We're gonna chill. We're gonna gab. We're gonna talk. We're gonna I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing my Rubik's Cube. One day I will solve this Rubik's Cube. But considering I just twist it and I don't even look at it, probably not. Probably not. So how is chat today? Hey, let's just say our shout outs. First and foremost, Zurith, Teacher Taylor, and Scary were the first in Twitch chat today, so W to them. Cool on Siojo subscribed to tier 1 for 9 months over on Twitch. Thank you. Manic Marcy gifted a tier 1 sub. Thank you, Manic Marcy. Yemye subscribed for their 20th month. Lord Richmond subscribed for their 18th month. The Teacher Taylor subscribed for their 14th month. W. Rubik's Cubes have a method to them. I know. I don't have it because I want to solve it. I have it because I like to fidget. And it's fun to fidget with. Ow. Ow. That was weird. Fidget toys are a must-have? No, for real. Big ups to my dog. Hopefully we get some callers today. I believe we have Winnie screening today, I think. This was an impromptu stream, so who knows? Yes, we do. Heard. Okay. By the way, if you're watching this over on Instagram, what are you doing? Get over to Twitch. Leave Instagram, come to Twitch. You get a better view. It's horizontal. It looks better. If you're watching on YouTube, stay there. Just, you know. Did anybody see that the United States buried a time capsule yesterday? And we put an iPhone in it for some reason. I only have a cell phone and I don't know how to work Twitch on my cell phone. Easy, just go to download the Twitch app and then there you go. Move from Insta to here. What's up? W to you. W to you for making the move. W. It helps support me. True, the phone number is on the screen, 219-327-8005. If you disagree, hey, listen, if you think capitalism is working, call me. And you better don't pick up the fucking phone and be like, capitalism is working the way it intended. Blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you think systemic racism is over, call in. Tell me when that happened. If you think Trump is a good president, pick that phone up. If you think gender affirming care is bad, pick that phone up. If you think trans men and women are not men and women, pick that phone up. And if you think Christianity is true, pick that phone up. YouTube, you guys gotta hit that like button, gang. Hit that like button, Twitch gang gang. Goon gang gong, goon goon gang gong. Came over, didn't know you were on Twitch. W to you. Truly. Big ups. We love you. I love you. Oh, I still gotta order lunch. You know, I always do this where I'm like, oh, I should order some food. But then I don't ever order the food. Hate capitalism, but this whole womb screams capitalism. You couldn't define capitalism if it bit you on the ass. That's what that tells me. I just want to point that out. You have no clue what capitalism is. Like zero. Capitalism isn't just having things. I hate to break that to you. Things existed before capitalism and they will exist after capitalism. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Pride is a sin. Sin doesn't exist. Call in if you disagree. What platform should we be focusing on? If you're a fan, come to Twitch. If you're an op, stay in YouTube. Pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I always notice it. Like the people who are pro-capitalism literally don't know what capitalism is, which is kind of weird. To be pro something you have no clue what it is, you know? It's a little odd. Just a little. Capitalism is goods and services in exchange for money. Nope, it's also not that. Stupid. I get it. Being dumb is, oh boy, being dumb is an all-day job for you, right? I'm on Insta. What do I do? Chill, I guess. The Instagram is just there to tell people on Insta who don't follow me other places that I'm live. But I don't really focus on Instagram as much. Homie defined basic economics and was like, that's capitalism, right? Nope. They say pride is a sin while celebrating the 4th of July. On God. Oh, well, says the guy in cat ears. Actually, if I'm not wearing cat ears, if you see me in cat ears, it's because you're gay. I hate to break to you. I'm just wearing normal headphones. If you see cat ears, you're gay. I can prove it too. I can prove it pretty easily. Ready? Ready for me to prove it? Quick, look over there. See? What cat ears? What are you talking about? These are just normal headphones. You must be gay. I'm fucking funny sometimes. I'm funny. I'm a funny guy. Capitalism at its roots is goods and services in exchange for money. No, it's not. You're an idiot and probably should go take an econ class. Hate to be that guy, but you should probably go learn before you attempt to pocket debate. I'll go tell feudalism, in which you could buy goods in exchange for money, that they were capitalism. Even though they weren't, they were feudalism. People are so dumb, dude. Homie said, capitalism is when markets. Brother. So when do we trigger MAGA over furries? Always. Jovan, what should I eat for lunch today? Chimichanga. Speaking of which, I hate when I go to look up pizza places on the food apps and it's just showing me all the bullshit. I don't want Domino's, don't want Papa John. I want like actual pizza. Oh, my stomach is going, homie, you haven't eaten yet today at all. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed, stomach. Duh. Stomach. I don't remember, the coworker was told I couldn't judge anyone's opinion via the Bible. I told them I'll judge all I want, point out slavery was good, was an opinion. Because I was then told I couldn't bring that up because it's in the past. How to respond to such stupidity? What way do you respond to, like, what? There's no way to respond to that though. It's just somebody being dumb. You can't good faith someone out of a bad faith argument. I wouldn't want government owning the means of production. Wow. Kudos to you. Call in if you have an opposition. I don't debate chuds in the chat. I'm new tier 4 member. Welcome, new tier 4 member. Bro, members are eating. You guys have videos uploaded up until like next Saturday, I think. Members are eating right now over on the YouTube page. Member first videos, W to them. We got a call screening right now. I'm still looking at food. I want pizza, but I want like the pizza place I like isn't fucking open. They're not open. Have I had this place before? I can't stand not seeing pictures of the actual place on the app. Why does everybody's pizza look so dog shit? I want like a nice crispy, you know? They're eating the debates. They're eating the calls. They're eating the calls and the debates. They're eating the callers. Guess that Winnie was, I guess that call wasn't a call. What happened to it? No way, switch from Insta to Twitch. There's actually people over here. Yeah, what? How many of us are watching over on Twitch right now? 199 Twitch babies. Homie, I'm not responding to you anymore. You're boring me. Either call in or shut up. End of story. Here's a 5-minute timeout because you're annoying me. Either call in or shut up. Oh shit. Zoe Starwin, thank you for subscribing out with Prime over on Twitch. A room with, what did that say? A room with a mini moose. That's a great name. Thank you for subscribing for 4 months over on Twitch. Silby, thank you for subscribing to tier 1 for 30 months. El Mufinio, thank you for subscribing with Prime for 14 months. And Raybo, thank you for subscribing with Prime for 4 months. Micah Clark, thank you for the super chat. Said, morning, happy 5th. Gonna celebrate by making quesadillas for mutual aid in a while. Hey, W to you. By the way, Winnie, you can chat in the crew chat if you want to tell me why that call didn't go, like why that call wasn't a call that we were gonna take. Got Prime available? Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription. Use it on me. That would be great. Big ups to my dogs. Fuck Joe Biden. Look, I can do that too. Huh? I don't understand the comment. Best game on Switch 2? It's the best. It would still be the game that's the best game on Switch 1, which is Breath of the Wild. Still unmatched. Nintendo hasn't topped it. Holy shit, I keep getting distracted. Breath of the Wild is much better than Tears of the Kingdom. Like, it's not even a close contest. Are we doing What About Biden? What about Biden? It was mad you said fuck Donald Trump. I mean, why? Does he think Donald Trump's gonna kiss him if he defends him? Donald Trump doesn't know who you are, little bro. Your screener is rude as fuck. I'm sure you were rude first. I can actually go check because it records all the screening calls. You gave a fake name and then you were upset that the screener called you out on giving a fake name? Sounds like you're just a baby back bitch, personally. When somebody who's an American would like to learn about the oppression of black people more, can you recommend some books? I find myself lacking that knowledge and would like to learn. I give you three easy ups. Number one, Stand from the Beginning. I'm always going to recommend it as a book. If it's your first time learning about this sort of stuff, this is the way to go. Like, it's not even a close contest. Number two, The Black Holocaust for Beginners. This is a good one. This one also has a lot of like illustrations, and will let you know that slavery is worse than they have ever told you it was. That's one thing that people kind of forget. It's not just 12 years a slave. If they were to make a movie about like the actual atrocities that happened during slavery, it would be rated X. It wouldn't get a rating. It would be unrated. Slavery is worse, 100% worse than you thought it was. And then this might not be about America, but it's pretty important. It's how Europe underdeveloped Africa. So anytime somebody goes, hey, why? But Africa, how come Africa is the way it is, right? If people are so equal, wouldn't African countries be as good as European? This is why. This tells you why. Those are 3 books. Pick them up. True. You can also go to my website, jovanbradley.com. I have a reading list. I don't know why I didn't just think of that, but that's me being me. I'll actually show you guys the reading list. jovanbradley.com. Here's my reading list. If specifically for that topic, you want to go to Race, Colonialism, and Liberation. There's Black Radical Thought, Colonialism and Settler Colonialism, Prison Industrial Complex and Police Abolition, Slavery Reconstruction, Civil Rights, and these are all good ones. So I do have a reading list for those who want to read. And that reading list is expanding every day. Why? Because I actually educate myself, unlike the people that call me. What about some fiction that you like? The only fiction book I've read in the last 5 years has been Project Hail Mary, because I just liked it so much. None of that matters in modern day. Oh, God. Tell white people that about 9/11. Tell white people that about quite literally anything that's ever happened to them. Good Lord. Then we can talk. If you've been trying to find books, JovanBradley.com. You see the Mag had to take shelter in the Black History Museum. Ain't it such a great analogy for most of the country? Ain't it though? Ain't it though? Ain't it though? Crazy. The only call in the queue right now is about crypto. I don't. It's an office hours call. I just. Hey, Jovan, did you know that Chad Cult, given from those conversations, has been talking about getting a hold of you to come on their show? Chad has my email. He has my production email because he's been on my podcast before. So, like, all he has to do is email me. Literally all he has to do is he should have the email. We've literally communicated. Mira Featherbender, thank you for subscribing to your Amazon Prime. The Pinsomniac, the Pinsomniac, thank you for subscribing with Prime. 23 Sunflowers, thank you for subscribing with Prime. And Sirs Medley, thank you for subscribing with Prime. I mean, we don't have any other calls, so I'll just take this one and see. All right, coming up next is Adam calling from Texas with an office hours call. Adam from Texas. Adam, can you provide me with your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, 33, he, him.
Okay, and Adam, your office hours call is related to crypto, is that correct?
Yeah, the state of the U.S. economy, really the bond market and what's going on there.
What about it? Like, what about with crypto?
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not the most educated. I'm more curious to hear your take. But with the state of the bond market, China and Japan are selling off U.S. Treasuries, and crypto being our main buyer recently, like Tether and Circle stablecoins. I was just curious on your thoughts on like what's going on there, if that's a good thing in your mind, or
No, I
moving
think
the U.S.
crypto is a terrible thing in my mind.
Oh no. What's got it? What's the main issue for you?
Yeah, the bulk of crypto, like my issue with crypto is the like insane amount of ways that it's able to be manipulated and hurt the average person, such as with like rug pulls, pump and dump schemes, the way that celebrities can endorse it and like boost it. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of
Yeah. No,
I haven't
the
seen many
what is
crypto that works well, if that makes sense.
yeah, I'm not the most educated on crypto, but I think what you're describing is closer to like Solana meme coins and what was going
I
on
mean
there.
but those
But
are a function of crypto.
yes, it's a currency in crypto.
Yeah.
I get that, and I agree with you that shit's bad. I guess in terms of rewriting the U.S. debt onto a private organization like Tether, it's unheard of. It's new, and I guess I'm just watching closely. That's kind of my office hours call for you, Jovan.
Yeah, I just think it's going to continue to be used to fuck over people, so I'm not a big fan of it.
No, I mean the people in power are definitely gonna do what they want with it.
I mean, look at our president. Our president did a massive pump and dump scheme and scammed a bunch of people out of millions of dollars, and here we are.
Yeah. I know. I'm not so fixed on the Solana meme coins, more so the stable coins, but I get it.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a way around it if we're talking crypto, you know?
Interesting. Okay. No, I appreciate it. Jovan, you taught me a lot, so I always come and tune in when I can.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
it, man. All right. Have a good day.
You too. I gotta find a cool pizza place. Anyway, lines are back open, 219-327-8005 if you want to debate. Lines are open. Oh, you know what I could check? Let me see something here. Oh. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. I just want pizza. I want a little lazy bishop sort of pizza from Domino's. If I were to order Domino's, then I wouldn't be getting pizza, right? I'd be getting Domino's. I don't order Domino's when I want pizza. I order Domino's when I want Domino's. How's the availability of plant-based pizza around the US? Don't know, never looked for it. You never take me no more. Do you have a playlist we can see of like the music that's playing? It's just go to Spotify, look up Epidemic Sounds lo-fi beats, and it's just that. You never know. What's the difference between Domino's and pizza? You know. Any good callers today? Not yet. Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. That's so good. I haven't eaten yet. Neither have I. Which is why I can feel low-key my head. Pizza bagel would slap. They make that at the bagel place near me. I need Uber Eats. Okay, listen here. I want to Uber Eats to do what DoorDash does and let me see pictures of people's food. You know? Let me see pictures of people's foods so I know. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, this place looks kind of good. But I bet it's a ghost kitchen. Also, W to the places that post pictures of their... No more calls. Our callers are scared today. 219-378-005. Guys, they're such scaredy cats. MAGA's cooked. MAGA is essentially gone. So that's the one thing we have to know. MAGA is essentially vominosed. Everybody, let's go. Come on, let's get to it. I know that we can do it. They're powered down after yesterday's disaster. Right. Yeah. How many MAGAs do you think blew their fingers off? We're launching fireworks tonight. Tonight. We are young. Souls at the world of fire. Jets Pizza Detroit style. If I was just gonna have Detroit style, I'm going and putting in the Motor City Pizza Company pizza that I have. I don't store brand pizza. It is my favorite pizza that you can buy in the grocery store. It is unbelievably Jovan destroying people on threads about Inception. These motherfuckers on threads didn't watch the movie because I'm sorry. First of all, Bear absolutely rapes Nikki. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Obsession, you should have watched it by now. Bear absolutely rapes Nikki. Like, no contest. If you're out here like, he didn't know yet. Is he just dumb? Is he dumb? Is he dumb? Is he stupid? And let's say, you know what? You're right. When Bear and Nikki have sex, he doesn't know that she's controlled by the wish. He has no idea. Even if that's the case, okay? Even if it's the case that he doesn't know that she's wish Nikki or whatever, not my fault I don't go out. Homie, we watched it in the Discord 2 days ago. You should have been there. Even if, okay? Even if he doesn't know, she's still acting manic and clearly not in the right state of mind, and he shouldn't sleep with somebody in that state. There's no way to slice it in which him having sex with Nikki was okay. Get out of here. It was obvious from the moment he made the wish. I think, honestly, up until the bit in the restaurant where she's like, no. Up until then, I would be like, she's just a little manic right now. The second she does that no bit, I'm sitting there going, I think my wish came true. I would be like, oh shit. Oh shit, I think my wish came true. Oh fuck. Bear is a nickname. No, his name in the movie is Bear. The actor does not think it's morally gray. He got clipped out of context in an interview. He literally says Bear is the villain of the movie. He said it numerous times. Which I agree with now because I understand the way people are using the word villain. My only disagreement was because of the usage of the word and the fact that I'm too comic book brained. That villain to me needs to be a bit more. He turned evil as soon as he essayed her. Yes. Evil. I don't know that I'd call him evil, but that would be more of a contention with what evil is than it is Bear is a piece of shit. You know, that would be the contention would be much more just like, what is evil, you know? So that. Just making the wish. No, Bear is not wrong for making the wish, because in what universe are you gonna tell me that you haven't sat there and been like, oh, I wish this person loved me? Bear's not wrong for making the wish because he had no reason to believe that this was anything more than a toy. He has no that's like, I pick up a monkey's paw and I make a wish on it, like, right? I don't believe in magic. I'm an author, so I always say antagonist. He's definitely an antagonist. He's not a victim. That I hate. I hate seeing that bullshit. Bear's the victim. Shut the fuck up. Somebody made a really great point that I loved, where they were like, Bear, you can tell the type of person Bear is when he goes to the store to replace Nikki's necklace and instead buys something she completely has no interest in. And I was like, that's a fucking great point. No, I think you can't. I think to fault somebody in a movie, to fault a character in a movie in which there is no established magic for happening upon magic, you can't do. Now, I think Bear there are ways around I think like one of the wishes he could have made was, I wish Nikki would tell me how she truly feels about me. And then, bada bing, bada boom. No, I would go toe to toe. But yeah, I don't think Bear is my idea of nice guy when we talk about nice guys in like the context of toxic culture and whatnot, because my issue is Bear doesn't tell Nikki how he feels. In my head, if Bear is the nice guy, he's telling Nikki how he feels and then complains that Nikki will fuck everybody else. You know what I mean? To me, there's another term for what I would call Bear. I just don't know what that term is. He's a different type of nice guy, though. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the term I would use for his type is. I don't know what the term I would use is. And she even gave him the opportunity to tell her. I mean, yeah. I mean, Nikki's actress even said, like, we shot the stuff when Nikki had agency two ways. She's like, we shot it as if Nikki liked Bear, and we shot it as if Nikki didn't like Bear, and then they mixed the footage together. Bear, he used it because women choose the bear. No, the director actually was like, the director was like, I didn't even think of that, and I wish I could take credit. Like, that was a conscious choice, but it wasn't. The guy who pretends to be friends is a nice guy. But that's the thing. I don't think Bear is pretending to be Nikki's friend, right? Because somebody who's pretending to be your friend is going to make the move eventually. We don't know what would have happened had Bear made the move and she denied him, right? I don't know the type of person that is because that's not shown in the movie, right? So I don't know what I would call the type of nice guy the Bear is. There's a category here that I just don't have a name for. I also think the thought of the friend zone has always been weird to me, because I do think there's an area where, like, if you have a friend who there's a very specific case in which I think the term friend zone can be used, and it's when two people are friends with each other, one of whom, it might even be both of whom, have some sort of attraction to each other, but it's not the case of, like, I think when somebody talks about, oh, I'm attracted to this person that I'm friends with, and they have no romantic feelings for me or anything like that, and I'm friend zoned. No, you're not. You're just someone's friend. But I think if you have somebody where they are, like, actively flirting, or they're keeping someone on, like, a leash, almost like a backup. You know those people? No, you do it when you're younger. Most people don't do it when they're older. Like, this is like a late teens, early 20s thing, where you keep somebody as like a backup, so you get like you get from them like things you're not getting from your regular relationship. Those exist. I might say that's a type of friend zone, but it's not like, the friend zone is not I want to fuck my friend and they won't let me, so I'm in the friend zone. No, you're just a dog shit human being. He knew nothing about her, he just wanted her. I don't know that that's true, because we don't get enough information about that in the movie. I will not make claims about who these people are outside of what's expressly shown or hinted at. And I don't necessarily know that Bear knows nothing about Nikki, because even when they're in the car talking about her wanting to quit, he knows that she wants to quit to focus on writing. He just thinks it's a bad idea. I agree with you on that, Megan. I agree with you on that 100%. Well, everyone knew about her relationship with her dad, but Bear. No, doesn't Bear say when Nikki's like, my dad's dying? He literally goes, but you don't like your dad. He says that to her. He doesn't care about her details. I can agree with that. Do you think Bear's friend Ian is Jimmy Snow coated? No, not really. He didn't know about her dad, the gift she would want. Well, no, I think that's two different things. I think he knows, like, he doesn't know what type of crystal she has, sure, but like, if my friend lost a crystal necklace, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? Granted, I don't want to fuck my friend, so there might be a difference here. He knew that she wasn't close to her dad. That I agree with. Or that I would say is he knew about her. He knew she didn't have a close relationship with her dad. So I would disagree on that factor. He wasn't her friend. I'm gonna disagree respectfully. I think he's a bad friend, just like I think Ian is a bad friend to him, but I'm gonna disagree on they weren't friends. We got a lot of chirpers in the YouTube chat who won't call in because they're terrified of being proven wrong. Hilarious. Oh no, that 100%. That 100%. You know what? I will agree with you on 100% on that. He's such a bad friend that when he sees his friend in, let's say you don't believe in magic, if you had a friend who acted like Nikki was acting at that moment, you are getting them institutionalized. That is a person who needs fucking help. I would be so worried that my friend is having a manic episode, and he instead goes, fucking bro, no, the fuck out of here, dog. But I also don't think Nikki is the type of person, from her characterization in the movie, to keep Bear around if she doesn't feel like he actually is a friend to her. In whatever way she needs a friend to be. She doesn't seem like the type of person in her characterization to keep around somebody that is, because it's clear she knows Bear likes her. This isn't hidden. She absolutely knows it. Why do you think she goes when she tells him, like, oh, would you, what does she say? She just straight up goes to him and is like, do you have feelings for me? Whatever, this is your time to admit it. Well, then there's the argument for she did wonder if there could be something more. I think it's clear that Nikki would have at least gone on a date or two with Bear. I think that's made fairly clear. But I wouldn't say it as far as I think Nikki had like these massively expressed romantic feelings for Bear, because I think Nikki is also the type of person who, if she has romantic feelings for someone, she'd probably just tell them. Right? Nikki didn't seem like the type to be afraid of that and need the man to make the first move. I think Nikki was like, hey, if he asks, I'll try, but I don't like expressly have interest in him. Easiest channel to troll. All right, well, if you're just trolling, see you. Bye. I don't need trolls in the comments. Bye. Have fun. No, remember she says when she has a crush, no one knows about it. Yeah, but how many people say that shit? You know what I mean? How many people be like, I have a crush, you'll never guess who. And then you're like, bro, it's so obvious. You know what I mean? The biggest thing is Bear is a coward through and through. Correct. Yes, Bear is expressly shown as a coward. We have an office hours call. I'll take it in a couple minutes. I just want to see if we can't get some debate calls in too. Have you beaten either of those cabs? I mean, I've beaten these games before I own the cabinet. Yeah, I don't think she was yeah, I agree with you there, Silas. I don't think she was disappointed in the fact that he didn't confess feelings. I think it was more, wow, I can't believe you would lie to me like to my face like that. But I don't think that discounts that I think Nikki 100% would have given Bear at least a date. That's not saying that they were compatible or that date would have gone well. Yeah, but I don't know that Nikki likes Ian, right? That's the thing. The only thing we're shown is that Nikki and Ian were fucking. You can fuck someone and have no fucking romantic interest in them at all. 219-327-8005. A lot of chirpers in the comments, but not showing up. Who'd buy a cabinet of a game they never played? When did I say I've never played it? What? Do you have a backlog of games to beat? Not really. Nikki's friend explicitly said, who? Sarah? Is that the other girl's name? I wouldn't call those two friends. I also don't know what to trust what that Sarah says, because Sarah's ulterior motives where she liked Bear. But also, Bear, how you fumble that? Yeah, I wasn't gonna go see Backrooms in theaters again with this new release with the 15 extra minutes, but then they were like, oh yeah, it's not added scenes. Kane made something new for the end of the movie. It's something new that connects to the Kane's backward. So essentially, it's another episode. I'm assuming it's going to essentially be another episode of the series. So I'm definitely gonna go see that. Conservatives are just terrified to actually engage. Especially good faith. These motherfuckers don't engage in good faith to save their fucking life. I have tickets to see it in a few hours. If you're not seeing the new extended cut, refund those tickets. Backrooms, I'm gonna tell you right now, Backrooms I think has the best found footage section of any found footage movie since Blair Witch, and I will die on this hill. I know it's the extended cut. W to you. Well, y'all kill people who talk to you. Shut your bitch ass up, fucking pussy. You kill people who talk to you, so why would we talk to you on the phone? Dumb fuck. How much extra time is in the extended? 15 minutes. Favorite absolute DC title? It's Absolute Batman. Come on now. If Charlie Kirk didn't want to die, he should have dodged. Should have taken Piccolo's advice and dodged. But he didn't. And look where he ended up. In the ground. Straight to Hiffle. No callers. They're fucking terrified, bro. Yeah. We're done talking. We're done talking obsession. We're done talking. I never saw Backrooms before the movie. Should go back and watch it. I definitely enjoyed Backrooms a lot, having been someone who knows the Kane Parsons series, but you don't need to know the Kane Parsons series to watch the movie. Oh, you're right. We do got to carry the flame. We are Charlie Kirk. We can... Who's up carrying their flame right now? What's your opinion on Amazing Lucas? Never heard of him. So I have no opinion whatsoever. Bro, if you like Backrooms and you're a fan of internet like liminal and like analog horror, we're eating so good, because the creator of the Mandela Catalog is making a Mandela Catalog movie produced by Steven Spielberg. We're fucking eating, bro. Eating. Now, I have no fucking clue how you're gonna do a Mandela Catalog movie. No fucking clue how that's gonna happen. But eating, dog. And then fucking Zach Kreger is making a fucking Siren Head movie. Bitch. Eating, bro. Eating. Charlie Kirk is dead. He's fucking dead. I've not actually seen any of Curry Barker's horror stuff. I've only ever seen his comedy stuff. I should go back and watch some of his horror stuff. Charlie, there's no way Charlie Kirk was a top. You know, Erica Kirk had to take control in the bedroom. When does Backroom Extended come out? I think it's out, right? Did they already drop it? Oh my God, it's 15 minutes of post-credit found footage of async employees. So it's literally, we're gonna tack on an episode to this re-release. It's called Backrooms Everything Must Go edition. I think it's already out. God, I can't wait to go watch that movie again. I'm gonna do that this week. Austin, we'll get to you in the queue, I promise. Just trying to see if we can get some debates at some point. It irritates my autism so sick of the track or somewhere doesn't finish the phrase. It's because I stop it. It could finish the phrase anytime. It's got the whole song. I just stop it. Faith is greater than your fear. Who's afraid? Why would I be afraid of something that doesn't exist? I mean, do you, boo-boo? I'm not afraid of shit that don't exist. I'm gonna say it based on what's being said on YouTube. I've never seen a minor be able to like actually have an effective debate, except maybe like 2 people. I've never seen somebody under the age of 18 be able to like actually have a logically sound debate that doesn't devolve into they don't know what they're talking about. Fuck is Siren Head? Oh, brother. You're missing out. I gotta order my goddamn lunch. Fuck. I gotta order lunch. I'm hungry as hell. I skipped out on breakfast. So now I need lunch. We could do some reaction content since we don't have any callers. Does anybody want to do reaction content? Dean Withers started debating as a minor? Yeah, I don't think Dean Withers started out as a good debater. Wasn't the Slenderman movie no good? Yeah, but it wasn't made by Zach fucking Kreger. Here, let me take Austin's call real quick, and then we'll... All right, coming up is Austin from Pennsylvania with an office hours call. Austin with an office hours call. Austin, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
I'm 31 and he, him.
All right, and what's your question, Austin?
So I know you've said stuff about like rehabilitating prisoners and stuff like that for abolishing prisons, but how would you go about rehabilitating people like Jake Lang? Because in my opinion, he's just not able to be rehabilitated.
Probably a lot of fists. No, but when we talk about rehabilitation, yeah. When we talk about rehabilitation, it's on like a clinical level. there's large ways to do it. Probably empathy training is one of the bigger things, but like we're not at that point yet. We're still at the point where Jake Lang can catch these fucking hands.
Yeah, that's sort of my opinion too. Just toss him on some train tracks and forget about him.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but he can definitely catch these hands.
Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to know. And the only crypto that we accept is the dog. So.
Heard. W. Austin, thank you for calling in.
Yep, no problem.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we have on the bucket of like React content. Oh, let's watch Benny Johnson's terrible Supergirl take. Shit, that's a 10 minutes. I gotta listen to this fucking cocksucker for 10 minutes. Sorry, I don't mean to use cocksucker pejoratively, but cocks suck. So like, probably shouldn't suck them because they're the worst. Amanda, thank you for the Venmo. You a George R. R. Martin fan, or do you prefer your favorite fantasy characters live? I just don't give a shit about Game of Thrones anymore. Unfortunately, it's been too long for me to still care. On God, on main. All right, we're gonna watch Benny Johnson's terrible Supergirl take. I bet it's the most sane take on the internet. I bet this take 1.25 speed. Yeah, we'll do 1.25 speed. I bet this take is gonna be just the best take on the internet. I also need to keep the hold on. If you're watching on YouTube, it's gonna be a bit suckish because what I'm gonna do is make sure the topics fuck. I can still do it. I can still make it work. I can still make it work. I can still make it work. That's not it. What I'm going to do is put the topic still on screen. And the call-in number is still on screen. How's that, YouTube? Is that super illegible? Probably. Oh, but you know what I can do? I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Yeah. This will be for when we're reacting to stuff on YouTube. It'll just have this. You know what? Maybe this is just better here. Does this look better here, YouTube? Does the topic board look better up here by me? And then I'm going to put the call-in number. It might be a little small, but... We are Charlie Kirk. We carry his awful name. We fight for the gospel. We honor his name. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Now I want, when I do sources, for these two things to turn on, essentially. So this is 8 and 9, 8 and 9, 8 and 9, 8 and 9, 8 and 9. Settings, shortcuts, find, source on, okay. Cut, layer on, edit, layer on 4, but also I want layer on 8 and layer on 9. So edit, clone, edit, 8, okay, edit, clone, edit, 9, okay. And then when I turn the sources off, find source off, layer off 8 and 9 as well. So layer off, edit, 8, okay, clone, edit, 9, Okay, let's see if this works. Boom. Boom. Nice. Cool. Man, it's so funny watching people get insta timed out for dropping slurs in the chat. All right, let's watch Benny Johnson's really fucking stupid Supergirl take. I'm sure it's just so incredible.
Knows that cute chick from high school who had a lot going for her, but couldn't get out. Everybody knows that cute chick from high school who had a lot going for her, but couldn't get out of her own way, kept making poor choices, bad decisions, rejecting every shot at happiness that she had, until ultimately you see her at a class reunion 10 years down the road and go, what happened to you?
What?
Yikes. Seem to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. And the lesson here is that don't reject the chances that are right in front of you. Nothing lasts forever. Take advantage of your shot. And Hollywood's learning this lesson the hard way.
What?
Because Hollywood's learning that fandoms don't last forever. And if you
Is this just going to be, look at this woke movie's gone? Oh my God, bro.
attacking the fans, and if you keep making trash and then blaming us when it bombs and saying we don't know what we want as the fans that are.
Would you call Supergirl a bomb? Like, truthfully, would you call this movie a bomb? In what way? Like, in what way is it a bomb? I mean, it's made 52 million domestic, 36 million worldwide, 89 million in total. In what way is that a bomb? Like, sure, is it going to make its budget back? I don't know. But, like, it's definitely better than the second MCU movie. So what's the issue here? Budget of 170, 186 million. Yeah, like, it's better than the Incredible Hulk. So what's the problem?
That are your bosses that keep the intellectual properties valuable, then you'll lose a Star Wars or a DC Comics or a Marvel. It can all collapse. It can all go away. And it does, actually.
Where?
And so just like the once hot chick in high school, who now works at the 7-Eleven, DC Comics is finding out that this is their last remaining shot. This is what they're left with because of their poor choices. Here, we have found for you the single fan of James Gunn's Superman. Here we go.
Go.
Jordan here with today.
Superman was like the biggest movie of 2025. What? Benny Johnson, are you fucking stupid? The single fan of like the biggest movie of the year? What? Brother might be stupid as fuck. I guess the Disney movies did a little bit better, but Superman was fucking huge, dude. It was fucking huge. The only people that didn't like Superman were piss boy crybabies like you who don't understand Superman as a character. The rest of us who actually understand Superman as a character were like, oh, this is great. This is the best movie we've ever seen.
I am seeing Supergirl, the fan of it, at American theaters in Monticello. The second home away from home. But I would like to take a second to show you the merchandise that they have.
Well done, everyone.
A logo bucket
Well done, everyone.
for whatever suits your taste.
Brother, what's the issue with this?
But anyway, hope you have a good day. Take care of yourselves. I love you.
Well,
what's the problem here, Benny? Is the problem that you can't fathom other people having joy? You pompous asshole. Is that the problem, Benny? Is that the fucking issue? Is that you hate to see other people happy, so now you have to, let me just shit on this person who is clearly just expressing their joy for a property they like. God damn, Benny, fucking please get laid. Fuck. Fuck, dude, please get laid.
Way to go.
Everybody would be happier if you just fucking got your dick wet, Benny Johnson.
The entire industry should be cheering. Average James Gunn Supergirl fan. They wanted women to watch the movie, and they got women to watch the movie.
They wanted
that's about
everybody
it.
to watch the movie.
Supergirl opens well below expectations as Millie Alcock comments, going after Christian men who have daughters who presumably would want to go see the Supergirl movie, is the poison pill at the box office. Supergirl bombs. Millie
Do you
Alcock's surly
think people
superhero.
do you think Supergirl's box office numbers? Wait, deadass. Does Benny Johnson deadass think that Supergirl's low box office numbers are because she said that Christian men should take their daughters to see Supergirl? You know, every day I understand more and more people that use the R slur. As somebody who, like, what the fuck kind of stupid shit is that?
Fails to entice viewers. The flop opening
What
weekend,
kind of
lackluster
dumb ass
reviews,
fuck?
set to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Here we go. Domestic, $38 million, $68 million worldwide. They had to make $600 million just to break even, and this thing is going to crater like it's falling from Krypton through the atmosphere in weekend 2. This was the opening weekend. You can see here, didn't even crack the top box office spot.
Well, yeah,
Was
you went up
blown.
against it went up against, like, let's just be so for real here. It went up against the fifth movie in a well-established kids franchise. It went up against a Steven Spielberg movie. Like, okay, Supergirl isn't this massive DC property. It doesn't shock me that like a bunch of people haven't gone to see it. Does that make it a bad movie? No.
Blown out by Toy Story 5. Supergirl, dismal. Supergirl
I
flop.
hate to tell you, if you go up against a Pixar movie that's well established, like Toy Story, that has all the might of the Disney, like, look at the marketing comparatively from Toy Story to Supergirl. Supergirl was not marketed nearly as well as Toy Story 5 was. Brother, I saw Toy Story 5 in everything. Taylor Swift was marketing that. But again, that's not a knock on Supergirl as a movie. I saw Supergirl. I give Supergirl a solid 7. I think it was a fine movie. I think it was okay. I think it was decent. If I look at where Marvel was at this phase of their career, we got The Incredible Hulk. That movie sucks. The Incredible Hulk is not a fun superhero adventure. I would watch Supergirl over The Incredible Hulk. I'd probably watch Supergirl over the first Thor movie. I probably wouldn't watch it over the first Captain America. And I probably wouldn't watch it over Iron Man 1, maybe Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is not. Iron Man 2 is okay. But like, what is this? This fucking revisionist history. The problem is that right now, audiences want superhero movies to be perfect. They want they want Avengers Infinity War level movies for every movie. And that's just not the case. I think where this movie shines, and I think what is going to be great, is Millie Alcock in the future. I think this movie shines when Supergirl and Superman are hanging out, having adventures, doing fun things. When every interaction she has with Clark is phenomenal. It's amazing. But this fucking dumb shit, like, oh, it didn't make its money back because you woke Hollywood. It just wasn't. It's like people don't like Supergirl like that. That's all it is. I do think this would have been better as a series that was more faithful to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the comic series it's based on. Right? I think it would have done better that way as like a property. But to act like the movie is like bad is just stupid. The movie is fine. The movie is
Rise to 18
I
million.
would actually say the movie is better than fine because I give it a 7. 7 is a good movie. 8 and 9 are amazing. 10 is perfection. A 6 or 7, that's a good movie. 4 and 5 is mid. 1 through 3 is dog shit. This was a good movie.
18 million. That won't even pay the taxes. It has a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's actually doing worse than Snow White, which is seen as the
good thing when movies fail, you get a tax break for it.
biggest box office disaster.
What are a few of your 10s? I don't necessarily think 10s exist, but Toy Story 3 is one of my 10s.
In recent Hollywood history, lost $200 million. Snow White pulled in 40.
Oh my God, you said, oh, we got to go to Grok. Got to go to Grok. Got to make sure. Gotta make sure Grok is agreeing with me.
$3 million on its domestic opening. It is tracking $6 million under that. Okay.
Didn't he say it needed to make back 600 million? Didn't he say that when the budget was 170? Did he not? Am I crazy? Did he not say that it has to make back 600 million to make up for everything? Where the fuck was he getting that number? Yeah, they had to make 6 million just to break even. You think this movie with a budget of 130 million had a marketing budget of almost 500 million? Oh, Benny, you fucking moron.
And we were waiting. I mean, the internet was waiting to destroy Snow White for years. I mean, this was years of pent-up aggression and rage in the making.
Snow White wasn't a bad movie either. Like, in terms of the Disney live action stuff, it's bad because it's just not as, nothing is going to be animated. But in terms of just being a movie on its own, it wasn't like terrible.
Let's leave it to Critical Drinker to sum it all up. This man is...
Do I even need to, you're fucking referencing Critical Drinker. Do I even need to fucking, I don't even need to be here. I don't even need to be here, Benny. You're dunking on yourself, dude.
To DC what Kathleen Kennedy was to Star Wars. It's over. Supergirl stands to lose $100 million after opening, just $68 million worldwide.
Just a reminder, in this DC universe, we have technically had 1, 2, 3, 4 properties, technically. 5. No, we've had 5 properties. We've had 5 properties technically in this DC universe. We had James Gunn's Suicide Squad, because that is somewhat canonical to this universe. We don't know how much, but we know that the events of that movie did happen in some way. Banger. Like, absolute banger. You had Creature Commando, season 1. Banger. You had Superman. Banger. You had Peacemaker season 2. Banger. And then you had Supergirl, which was, it was good. Wouldn't say it was a banger, but I would say it was good. I think like the thing with Supergirl is Millie Alcock was phenomenal. I think she was a phenomenal actor. I thought the CGI in this movie looked good comparatively to like most opening superhero movies. I was like, oh, I don't mind the CG in this. I think the action scenes were fun. I liked watching Millie Alcock fight. I liked watching Supergirl's action scenes in this. So like this revisionism of like, oh, there was one DC property that just didn't hit the same, and so now all DC is dead, is a cope. It's a cope, bro. You're coping because you're upset that this movie has a woman in it. It's okay for a movie to just be okay sometimes.
Wide DC Studios tentpole cost $170 million to produce, and roughly $120 million to market. Sources close to Supergirl say the movie would need to gross $300 million to break even. The projected film losses are closer to $80 million if ticket sales can manage $200 million. It was always going to be a tough hurdle for DC and Warner Brothers because Supergirl isn't a character that has created an event-level blockbuster. Oh, okay. Audience perception of Supergirl was not good. Just the case the film wasn't good enough to become a... So the audience, once again, audience perception of Supergirl. Blame the audience.
What's the Rotten Tomatoes?
Don't blame the actress.
What's the Rotten Tomatoes on this right now? Why would I blame the actress? She was great. She acted great. What is the actual audience saying about Supergirl? Like the actual audience, 76. Literally, the audience is I'm not enabling ads, you fuck. The audience is literally, it's 76. So the audience is saying the same thing I said, right? 7, right? The audience is in line that this was a good movie. A movie that gets a 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, that's a good movie, Ben. I don't think you know what the audience likes, dude. Like, what?
Who went on the red carpet and says that she wants to be a queer icon instead of Supergirl. She wants to be a divisive political
Did she
character.
say
This is
that?
after blaming Christian dads for her failure.
My friends. So honestly, I'm kind of honored. I'm honored that that's happening. But I think because she doesn't live inside the binary of what we think a woman should be, that is what makes her so special and so exciting and so new. I've many.
What was
She
the issue
doesn't live
here?
inside of the binary.
What was the issue here? Somebody asked what she thought about people saying that that Supergirl's a queer icon, and she said she was honored for that, and that Supergirl as a character doesn't exist in the binary of being women, which is true. What's your issue here? Are you going to hold on? Let's play the game. Let's play a game. Do I have a drum roll sound effect? Brother, I need a drum roll sound effect. Let's play a fun game called Will Benny Johnson Substantiate what he's about to be upset about, or will he just bloviate? What do you guys, one in the chat if you think he's going to substantiate, two in the chats if you think he's just going to bloviate. What do you think, chat? What do you think?
She's a queer icon. She goes both ways, says Millie Alcock. Why don't they just close their mouths? You could just close your gigantic mouth with your...
The answer was 2. For all those playing along, the answer was 2.
Your donkey teeth. You could just close that and just say...
Millie Alcock, first of all, donkey teeth is crazy, Benny, when you look like that. You look like a rejected PBS after-school special commentator. Shut the fuck up. But to act like Millie Alcock is not an attractive woman is the biggest cope that I've seen these Snyder bros doing online. Like, your cope is that you, like, oh, she's not hot. First of all, that's not true. Second of all, even if it were, what the fuck does that matter? It's just proving you don't have any semblance of an argument here. You have none, because you're only falling back to, well, she has donkey teeth. She is objectively an attractive woman. There's no subjectiveness in this at all. You are just butthurt. Like, I know you're not talking when it's clear you've had work done, Benny. There's no way. Benny is gay? Oh, that's even worse. Oh, that's even worse. Oh my God. So are you telling me the real reason Benny is doing this? Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Let's just keep. I don't think we should say that people like this secretly hate women because they want to be women. And I don't think him being gay has anything to do with him possibly wanting to be a woman. But it's the way they talk about women as if women are doing it wrong, which puts me in a position to be like, is it that you think you can do better? Like, is that what it is? Do you think you can do better?
Hey, it's a superhero movie. Stop asking me gay rights questions. Lower opening weekend than Morbius and The Marvels. Whoa. Supergirl box office actually came in well below the
wait, whoa, stop. This just tells me you have no fucking clue what you're talking about, Benny. Morbius was memed. The reason we all went and saw Morbius in the theater was because of the meme. And Sony leaned into the meme, right? Morbius would not have gone anywhere without It's Morbin Time. God, those were better days. It's Morbin Time. God damn, I miss those days. You don't know what you're fucking talking about, dude.
Lowest end expectations, all but guaranteeing that Warner Brothers will lose hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a gigantic flop. It's their own fault, and they'll learn nothing from it. Well, they should fire James Gunn. That's what everyone's saying now.
Yes, because they have no ability to critical think, like you, Benny, who lacks the ability of critical thinking. We're gonna definitely fire the guy who put out the best Superman movie in fucking decades. Yeah, that makes sense. Totally makes sense. Totally, yeah. Yeah, it makes total sense for a movie that was good. I sat in Supergirl expecting the worst thing I had ever seen. The way the internet was talking, I expected the worst thing ever. Okay. I sat in that theater like, okay, I either the acting's gonna be terrible or all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, this is good. I don't know what the fuck is the issue? This is a fun summer blockbuster. Like, what's the fucking issue here? And it was just a fun summer blockbuster. Yo, Keto Warrior, thank you so much for the raid. Shout out to the raiders. Welcome in. We are fucking watching Benny Johnson just say the dumbest shit on the planet. So are there things I would have changed about Supergirl? Yeah, to get it closer to the source material, right? But that's just because I really liked the source comic, but that's hard to do. Would I have recast the girl? Probably. I don't think she was the greatest actor. Would I have cut Lobo? Maybe. I'm on the fence, but I might have cut Lobo. But like, to act like it was this fucking god-awful movie, you have to actively try. Like, actively try. Now, are there things that I don't like about like the world building of Supergirl? Potentially, but that's because I think that world building stuff is just bad in the comics, right? Like the one thing I was talking to one of my friends about, they were like, I hate that everybody has kryptonite. That ruins it for me. I'm like, then don't read a Superman comic. Like they all have kryptonite is the most fucking easy to obtain mineral in the comic books right after fucking like copper. It goes granite, gravel, kryptonite, like in terms of what you can find. Okay. True, bro. This isn't even close to being as bad as Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 84. Oh my God, was a piece of dog shit. This isn't even close, dude. This is my problem. Fucking A.
Here's my not a review of Supergirl, an autopsy of why it failed. The girl boss movie era, where the market got saturated post Harvey Weinstein, it started with Lady Ghostbusters. That's been a failure, and Hollywood just can't accept that men don't want to go see a female superhero movie.
That's not true. The first Wonder Woman did phenomenal. What was what did the first Wonder Woman movie make? Wonder Woman made 822 million worldwide. What are you talking about? What are you smoking, Benny Johnson? You're just stupid. It's that Supergirl's not an established property like the rest of them. It's so obvious. The only experience your average like viewer is gonna have with Supergirl, right? Like I went to the movie because A, I just love this universe that they've set up. B, I like Kara Zor-El in Woman of Tomorrow. And I knew that this was a loose adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go see it. Like I haven't watched most of the recent Marvel stuff. Didn't watch Punisher, haven't watched any of the new Daredevil. Like, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see this. I like this world. I like the comic it's based off. I'm gonna go catch it. Nobody's read that comic who's like an average moviegoer. Their only experience with Supergirl is the shitty CW show. And these are two vastly different characters. This interpretation of Supergirl is wildly different from that one. That interpretation of Supergirl is, hey, what if we just make Clark Kent have long blonde hair? Whereas this version is a completely different character to her cousin. I don't know why I'm talking as if Benny Johnson is using critical thinking in this. It's really just a waste of my time.
Are still in 2026 the major market for any and all superhero movies. Even Supergirl was 60% male ticket buyers. Well, we know who the male ticket buyers were.
How beat up were you in high school, Benny? True question. Genuinely. How much did you get your ass kicked? That the only way you can like get your rocks off in your adult life is by shitting on other people for no reason. Like, how insecure are you? God damn, bro.
Okay, hold on. Let me keep going. Hollywood is going to have to accept the reality at some point. Yeah, you can make a gay female superhero movie, but Hollywood is going to have to accept that they will make much less the box office for those.
Where do you get the gay thing from, by the way? Kara's sexuality is not even remotely a plot point in this movie, which leads me to believe the person who wrote this, because God forbid Benny spends this time giving us his opinion. He's just reading what other people say on fucking Twitter. Kara's sexuality isn't a plot point in this movie, by the way. It's not even remotely a plot point in this movie. It doesn't come up one time. It comes up 0 times in this movie. So all you're telling me is the person who wrote this review didn't watch the movie, which is usual. These type of movies, the people who shit on them online, the vocal majority of people shitting on them, didn't watch them. They never saw them.
Reasons. It was massively too expensive. If you're going to make a female gay-centric superhero movie, and your budget's going to have to be a third of what this was for obvious reasons. You're not targeting me.
I could agree on this factor that I think the movie costs too much. But it's clear when you watch it that a lot of that cost went into CG, a lot of that cost went into costume design and like SFX makeup. There was a lot of practical stuff that I was really happy to see. Like, it's clear where the budget went. So I'm fine with that. And I don't think, you have to think, when a studio is doing this, when James Gunn is going into this, I think he knows some of these movies will lose money. That's not the point. The point is to build the franchise in a way that it's going to work. Like, are you stupid? You have to be. You have to be stupid. You just physically have to be.
Major demographics. So you need a budget of $20 million so you can make money. A $35 million Supergirl movie makes money.
You're not making any superhero movie on $20 million.
Movie bankrupts investors. Keep your stars away from Hollywood reporters, have their own agenda, and they want to get a juicy soundbite. Keep your stars away from Hollywood.
Sorry. This movie isn't even remotely going to bankrupt investors. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you smoking? What kind of fucking cocaine are you putting on the table and swallowing whole forcefully to act like this movie is going to bankrupt investors? Fucking Christ, dude. And then all the fucking fanboys are going to fucking shit their pants when Clayface comes out. Oh, Clayface was so good and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to lose their minds when Man of Tomorrow comes out and like, oh, I can't believe the fucking woke Superman, blah, 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 because I just want Zack Snyder's Superman, blah, 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 because I don't know anything about Superman except what I learned when I was a kid when I watched the Zack Snyder movie, blah, 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 blah. Shut up.
Hollywood reporters that have their own agendas. For the love of God, give them some marketing training. Hollywood reporters have their own agenda and they want to get a juicy soundbite for views and clicks. They don't give a damn if your movie does well. Supergirl's total.
I promise you, Supergirl's doing poorly in the box is not because Millie Alcock said she's honored to be a queer icon. God. This is reactionary shit. This is why I don't watch reactionary shit. It's too stupid. It's too brain dead, bro. It's actually brain dead. This is why I don't do reactionary shit. He's not saying anything.
Box office bust. Supergirl falters at box office. Testing DC Studios a reboot.
Yes, I see you just reading more. Benny, I love, thank you for reading more fucking headlines and reading more Twitter posts. Oh my God, I love, original thought is so alive on the right. God damn.
It's a Galaxy story, not really a reboot of anything. It's something we've already seen before. It's tiresome. It's embarrassing. We all have fatigue.
What? I can give you that this movie's aesthetically is very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. I can give you that. Guardians of the Galaxy is very fucking similar to Fifth Element, right? Like, that's not really a fucking dunk. This movie isn't similar story structure-wise, like, at all. What are you talking about? You didn't watch the fucking movie. You didn't watch the movie, and you're complaining about a movie you didn't even see. You fucking joke.
See, this isn't our bad decision making. It's you being toxic plebs. Now come see our next $200 million movie, Warner Brothers executive, on social media toxicity surrounding Millie Alcock. We're surprised by the ferocity and the backlash of its reach.
I'm going to tell you, this is how much this backlash didn't fucking matter. I had no fucking clue people were even mad at Millie Alcock for anything. No fucking clue. This backlash didn't reach anywhere. You're reading off of what? Like, fuck, bro. I
Evolved past
can't.
this sort of campaign. Shh. Nobody even knew who she was until you tried to shove her down our throats. And she tried to claim being a queer icon instead of being a good Supergirl.
What? She was in fucking House of Dragon. One of the biggest fucking shows on TV right now. She's on one of the biggest shows on TV right now. What are you talking about? What do you mean no one knows who she is? You don't know what you're talking about, Benny Johnson. You're just fucking stupid. No one knows who this person is from this fucking massively popular television show. They've never seen this massively popular TV show before.
It's simple. I don't have superhero fatigue. I bought Spider-Man when I date resale tickets.
Can't wait to read.
I lost interest.
Fucking Tim Pool's. I'm so glad I came to the Benny Johnson show to get Tim Pool's take on Supergirl. That is just
Supergirl when she said cringe woke stuff about how it wasn't for white Christians' dads and she's a queer icon. I'm not mad at the film.
What did she say? What did she actually say? I bet it was the most fucking milquetoast shit ever. Supergirl actress Millie Alcock sparked significant online backlash when she dismissed her online critics as burner accounts and profiles identifying as dad of 4 Christian. Her comments ignited it. So she was correct. So she was right. She was saying, "Hey, here's a bunch of burner accounts that are talking shit about me that are bot accounts, and their bio is like Christian dad of 4." She didn't bash Christian dads. You're all just soft as fuck. You're just soft, bro. You're just soft. You're soft soy boys. God damn, we're supposed to be the soy boys here on the left. We're supposed to be the soft ones. And y'all can't handle Millie Alcock saying that she's tired of fucking burner accounts talking shit. Like burner accounts don't talk shit on the internet. But
I'm
yeah,
happy
no,
for the queers who want to see it.
We're soft. We're soft.
I'm just not going to go see it. That's all. Knock, knock, who's there? Your investors at Warner Brothers, your feminist movie just killed an entire franchise. You get what you just.
If this killed the franchise, Clayface is still coming out. Superman, Man of Tomorrow is still coming out. Lanterns is still coming out. Where's the franchise death? What came out after Justice League? The Flash, like 10 years later? Like, you don't like, oh my fuck, dude.
Super flop. Oh man, what a nightmare. The problem is the movie sucks. She faces backlash. She's facing backlash? Really? What about when she attacked Christian fathers? What about when she...
Do you notice that in this entire thing, he hasn't said how she's attacked Christian fathers? Because he can't. Because if he accurately reports on what she said, he loses the ability to outrage farm. So instead, he just keeps repeating this claim that she attacked Christian fathers, which she did not do. Because you can't actually argue against her or argue against like what she said, which is why you keep reframing it. If it was so bad, you wouldn't have to reframe it, but you have to reframe it because you got nothing. This is fake outrage. You're not actually mad. And I bet you, if you've seen the movie, you probably thought like, oh, this is okay. But if Benny Johnson went online and told everybody, hey guys, Supergirl's all right. You guys are being then nobody's clicking on your video. It's farmed. It's all farmed. You're not giving an original thought. It is literally all farmed. Like, come the fuck on, bro.
She just didn't do a good job as Supergirl. I don't understand movie executives. What about the last 5 to 10 years told somebody to do?
Totally incorrect. Even if you don't like the movie, every review I've seen of people who didn't like the movie have had the same fucking review of Millie Alcock's performance, which was she was great. And we hope she gets a better written thing in the future. Every single review I've seen has said this. No one has had a problem with her. Their problems have primarily been story and script based, which I can understand.
This would make money. It's never going to make money. Ladies and gentlemen, though, you can send a message
So
by
what?
signing up for Angel Studios, 44% off.
Do you think Marvel? I'm not listening to your fucking ads, you little fuck. Do you think Marvel fucking when Marvel drops half their properties, they're sitting here going, "This is gonna." Do you think Marvel's sat here and went, "You know what's gonna make us a fucking buttload of money? Do you know what's gonna just fucking generate a flow of cash into our fucking pockets, bro? Do you know what's gonna get us bucks on bucks on bucks on bucks on bucks? The new Avengers. Hey guys, people are so excited to watch Natasha Romanoff's sister. This is gonna make us so much money. No, it's a setup. They're like, well, we're making this movie because it's gonna set up for bigger stuff. You think Marvel made Shang-Chi going, this is gonna fucking blow it away, squad. This is gonna blow it away. Marvel knows what their moneymakers are. It's in Avengers and Spider-Man. Almost anything else is a gamble. Anyway, Benny Johnson's a fucking moron. It was so stupid. Outrage farms are so dumb. They make so much money saying stupid shit on the internet. Benny Johnson puts out like 5 or 6 videos a day, and all they are outrage farms where he clearly did not read or watch the thing he's talking about. Demonzel, thank you for the super chat, said you should play the 80s Lionel Richie version of Carry the Flame. I don't even know what that is. CMDR plays, thank you for the super chat, said I enjoyed Blue Beetle, Superman, Batman, Creature Commando, and Peacemaker, and I'm excited about Supergirl, but I still want Green Arrow. Maybe I'm biased. Okay, so you want to hear my big issue? Want to hear my big issue? Outside of the big 4, I'm going to give you 4. I'm going to give you Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Flash. Outside of the big 4, people generally don't give a fuck about DC heroes. I don't think Green Arrow has this amazing comic book legacy with phenomenal stories, and no. I don't think Hawkman and Hawkgirl have this amazing legacy with phenomenal stories. No. You have Superman, you have Batman, you have Wonder Woman, and you have the Flash. And even then, I think Wonder Woman has some decent stories, but her primary big stuff is being in proximity to Superman and Batman. So yes, do I think that there are good stories you can tell in these things? Yes, absolutely. Name me a Martian Manhunter comic right now. Do it. You can't, because nobody reads them. These Martian Manhunters only is good in Justice League. Nobody cares about him outside of the Justice League. And by the way, I think the same for Marvel shit. Outside of Spider-Man, okay? He said, fuck yeah, because I'm right. Outside of Spider-Man, most Marvel comics are not read unless you're a die-hard comic fan who just reads whatever in a series. So when we sit here and we're like, well, why did this movie not do great? Because it's not one of the big 3 or 4. I will give Marvel Spider-Man. I will give Marvel X-Men. People really fuck with X-Men comics. What about Red Tornado? True. I can't wait for the Red Tornado movie. So true. Deadpool's proliferation is not because of Deadpool comics. Fight me on it. Deadpool's proliferation exists outside of the comics. You can't name me a Deadpool comic. Deadpool is X-Men. That's not to say you can't do good stories with these characters. I just want to be upfront about this. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I'm not saying you can't do that. All I'm saying is that these characters are popular not because of their comics. Most DC characters are popular because of Justice League. All right, we got a call. A call that I feel I've done before. I feel like I've done this call before, but whatever. Coming up to stream, we have Chris, who's calling from Texas to talk about topic number 5, trans men and women being men and women. Chris is going to tell us, apparently, that identity is not a great criteria for defining things. Chris, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Hey, Jovan. My name is Chris, and he, him.
Great. And now, Chris, I believe trans men and women are men and women. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
Yes, I disagree. I think the defining criteria for men and women is biological sex, not gender identity. I think gender and gender identity are two separate things.
So just so I can confirm, biological sex is the defining criteria. So as long as your biological sex aligns, then you are a woman.
Fundamentally, yes. I mean, gender also tracks whether or not you're an adult, right? And whether or not you're human.
I just want to make
some social aspect.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure, because now we're changing things a little bit. So I was told that biological sex is the only factor. Now you're saying there are 2 other factors.
Yes. For gender, because, for example, you're not considered a woman until you reach certain, physiological development, right? And
what would that physiological development be?
There's like certain rites of passage for being a woman too, right? So like here, it's whether or not you're 18, but also whether or not you've reached sexual maturity.
What would the physiological development? So I think you touched on it a little bit there. So you're saying that there is a social aspect of the term woman. It's not a strictly biological thing. There are social aspects to this term.
Correct. Adulthood and a lot of different cultures have different rites of passage, right? Like my sister was told when growing up, "Or you're not a woman until you can cook, clean, and do the dishes, and whatever." Like there's different. In some cultures here, for example, you have to be 18 to be an adult, technically, right? So
now, Chris,
it doesn't mean that you're biologically
my question
not an adult,
for you is, why must gender as a category distinction only track these 3 things? And cannot track some semblance of identity. Well, if it's historical, then I reject this as a sound argument.
You would have to justify the redefinition, right? And you're saying that it's
hold on. Wait. I'm not. Yeah. All I'm doing is poking at your current understanding or your current criteria. That's all I'm doing. I'm saying your current criteria, why ought it be this way? And your only answer to that is because that's how it's always been.
Yes.
That's a fallacy.
Just like, for example, with race, right? Like you define race based on physical traits that track.
Chris, I'm sorry. I don't, Chris, I want to focus on this really quickly. If the ought to your belief is it's always been this way, this is a fallacy.
Okay, but you, on the other hand, are trying to redefine something that's always been, right? So who is
we redefine things that have
here?
You. In this instance,
no,
you do. We redefine.
Because you're redefining. In this instance,
no, me. Because no, because I'm asking you an ought, which would mean you have the burden here. Because I'm asking you an ought.
Oh no, it doesn't have to be. I don't think it has to be defined by those 3 terms. It's just that's how we see it.
Wait, I asked you why
we've always defined it.
Wait. Again, so that is still an ought. So why ought we define it this way? You said because it's always been that way. That means you're making an appeal to tradition, which is just saying that this practice is assumed to be the superior practice that we should do, we ought do, because it's just been the norm. This is flawed reasoning. Now, if you can give me a reason why we ought make it this way that isn't that's not like baked in a fallacy, then potentially we have something more here.
Right.
But if all you're going to do
So
is do an appeal to
so you're going
tradition,
to tell
then
me
there's
that
no
I have
argument
to
here.
justify why the definition is what it is, but you don't have to justify why
Nope,
you think
I
it
didn't
is how
ask
it
you
is.
to justify why it is what it is. I asked you to justify why it
Okay,
ought to be that way.
why it ought to
Yes,
be it
if
is,
you're
like how it
making
is,
an
and you don't
yes,
have
if
to
you're
justify
making
why it ought to be how you think it is.
Chris,
Is that what we're saying here?
Chris, yes, when you made the ought,
Yes.
I asked you a question. Why ought it be that way? So yes, I'm asking you to justify the ought. You're saying it can't be changed or it shouldn't be changed.
No, I'm not saying it
So I'm
shouldn't. Yeah,
asking
that's
you
all
the
I'm saying.
ought there, why it should not be changed. Why ought it not be changed? And
Well,
your
the real
only
question is
reason,
why should it be changed?
Nope.
That is the question. Okay, so
incorrect.
like I've heard you do atheist
question-
debates. I've heard you do
The question was
debates
why
with like
ought it be
religion, right?
changed?
You always say that again. I'm sorry.
The real question here is why this would be one thing if it was the case that we never changed definitions before, right? Because I could just make an ought to some semblance of hold on, stop. I can make an ought to some semblance of utility. Hey, it actually serves us more utility wise if we change the definition. And there I've grounded my ought in something that's not a fallacy. Whereas your ought is still grounded in fallacy. So
Okay,
if you're
so, I mean,
going
we
to
can
say
argue
that,
utility then, right?
well, we don't need to, because your ought is a fallacious one and my ought isn't. There doesn't need to be. What do I need to go
agree
from
with you
here?
now. I see what you're saying. I didn't understand what you were saying at first.
So can you
I
ground
could say
your
also utility.
ought? You can say also. So now we can talk about which one's utility works the best.
Yeah, but the point is like I don't think the utility is the justification either, because okay, I could say
no,
that
you
it's
think
useful to be able to change race, right?
justification.
I could say if I want to identify as white.
Chris, I don't know what your boner is. I don't know what your boner is for the race conversation, but that's not what we're having right now. And it's a poor analogy because
an example. It's an analogy.
It's a poor example because not all social categories are built the same. Just like I wouldn't say that you can now just believe that $1 is $100 bill, even though the value of money is socially constructed. Right? So we have to exist in.
So why does the analogy not work?
Because race is an external classification based upon some oppressive entity, right? Typically a state.
Okay, two things.
I don't know why you hold on.
Sorry.
I don't know why we need to do two things before I finish. Right?
Yeah, no, you're right. I apologize.
So race, as it was constructed in history, is an external classification placed upon people by typically a state oppressive power, whereas gender and how we use gender and how we've always tended to use gender has been more of an internal classification of the self. So no, I would not take an external classification thing that's based upon the way a state sees me and extrapolate that onto gender. Just wouldn't. That there's no analogy here. This is an inanalogous thing. But we're doing this right now because you are trying to pivot away from your faulty reasoning in the reason why we ought to maintain gender's category distinctions as strictly sex, age, and species based.
Okay, so we started this because we're trying to say what the utility was the justification, right? The reason I brought up
I just said utility could be one of the reasons that I bring it up.
Okay,
that's it.
Well, we'll talk about that one first because that's the one that came up first.
I don't need to. I could.
Okay.
But again, this is simply you trying to pivot away from your. What is your actual reason?
I could use utility too.
Chris, right now, you're floundering here. The reason why I'm not giving you my actual reason is because the only ought you've given me is the reason we ought to maintain this tradition is because it's a tradition. I don't need to give you a better grounding because your grounding is flawed. So I don't need a better one because there's no reason why we must maintain tradition. So no, I'm not going to give you a different reason unless you provide me a grounding that's not illogical.
I will change my reason, not just because it's traditional, but also because it's useful. I could say that, right?
Okay, what is the usefulness?
It's more useful than yours.
What is the usefulness in only defining gender by sex, race, or species, and nothing else?
But can I bring up why it's not even the usefulness that
No,
okay, so you
because
want me to
now
give you
you've brought it in utility. You've said that you can do it from a utility
yeah.
stance. So that would mean that you should be able to tell me why, based on utility, there is more utility in only categorizing gender via sex, age, and species. If you're just going to repeat the things that I'm saying without actually having an
Yes,
argument
exactly.
behind them, that's pointless. I could
No,
just
but
debate
that's
myself.
exactly the point.
I could debate ChatGPT and get more here.
No, but like, please listen to what I'm trying to say. I can say utility. I could say anything that you would say with gender regarding race, because the analogy does work. Just any justification that you give me, I can give you the same justification for changing the definition of race to being an identity-based rather than a physical trait-based, right?
I
that
don't know why
ethnicity.
you keep trying to place this on race when race is
The
an
reason I'm
external
doing
classification system based upon a state oppressive power. I'm not black because I feel like I'm black. I'm black because a state has made categories of race, black being one of them. There is no black gene. There's no black doesn't exist. The only reason I'm black is because a state has functionally made me black. So when I tell you that these are non-analogous things, and you keep trying to fit the square block in the circle hole, you are making yourself look sillier the more you try to do it.
Jovan, okay.
At this point, I'm going to have to just start taking this as you running. It is what race is.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Don't hang up on
Wait,
me.
whoa.
Jovan.
When was black created as a race category? When was it created as a racial category?
Legally or like in terms of socially? Because there's always been a difference between black and white.
Stop. I'm not asking you a
Indian.
difference in skin, in pigmentation. I'm saying the racial classifier of race. There are people who are not black who are darker skinned than I am, yet I fit under the category of black. So black isn't just about skin color differences. There is something different here. So again, when was black as a racial category corrected? And thank you. You've effectively pivoted off from the conversation because you really wanted to talk about race.
I'm not
so
trying
we got
to pivot.
here. But
I'm not
you
trying
did.
To pivot,
I don't
I'm
care
trying
what
to give an analogy
Chris,
that makes sense.
Chris, stop. I don't care what you're trying to do. It's what you did do. You pivoted, and now I have to give you a 5 to 10 minute lecture on like how race was actually created because you don't know it, and the categories of race because you don't know it, because you can't handle actually debating the thing you called about. So if that's what you want to do,
you're not listening
stop,
to me.
Chris. I am listening to you. I've already addressed it. I've addressed your claim and said why it functionally is non-analogous, and you just keep trying to go back to it when I've addressed it.
But please listen, please.
Chris,
can I explain why it is analogous?
Chris, you have two things that you can do right now. Either we can go down this road, and I'm going to have to give you a 10-minute fucking lecture about the creation of race, about Gomez de Girard, about fucking all of this other shit that I know you don't know. Stop talking. Or we can get to the actual debate, and you can provide me a syllogism for why your classifiers for gender have more utility than a self-appraisal classifier. Those are the two things that can happen right now. Option 1 or option 2, which are you taking?
I'm going to start with option 1 because...
Great. Can't wait to spend 10 minutes on this bullshit. Provide me a syllogism right now. Provide me a syllogism right now, P1, P2 conclusion, for why you believe race can be... why you believe race and gender are the same in a social classifier. Yeah, provide me the syllogism. P1, P2 conclusion. Go ahead. Can't wait.
Okay. So how race is looked at today socially, it's not a government classification that the state tells you what you are. Today,
is that your P1? Is that your P1? Sorry, is this P1?
Yes, P1.
Great. Can you actually can you condense your P1? Great. So P1, how we look at race today is not a government classifier. That's what you're telling me?
Yes, it's a classification based on your physical traits, right?
Great.
That
P2.
That those physical traits track your ethnicity, correct?
I'm sorry, is this your P2?
Right? So, no, this is still P1.
I don't know why your P1 is so
P1.
long. I don't know why your P1 is multiple premises.
Oh no,
It should be
I'm just
one
justifying
premise.
my P1. I'm just saying
Your
why
P1 should be
does it make
okay.
sense
I've
or
got
not?
your P1. Now go to P2. You can justify your
Okay.
propositions after you've made them.
Okay. So P2, there's always been a social aspect to race also. It's what you're talking about when the government does things, related to race, but also just the cultural aspect of race. You had
I'm
the
sorry,
dress,
did you just
the
say is
traditional
P2, there's always been a social aspect?
to race?
So your
there's
P2
also
and your
a social
P1 are the
aspect to
exact
race.
same. Your P2 and your P1
No,
are the
no,
exact
'cause
same.
P1,
how we look at race
is saying
today is
that
not a government classifier, which would be saying that it's more of a social classifier. Your P2 is we look at race in a social classifier. So you're just
no, I'm
restating
saying that
P1.
there's just like gender, there's a biological and social aspect. Race has a objective aspect, which is your ethnicity, which basically your physical characteristics, and a social aspect, which is culture. And
Let's go.
Language
Let's look here. I'm trying to keep it on track because I don't want to spend 20 minutes on this. P1, how we look at race today is not a government classifier. P2, just like gender, there's a biological and social aspect of race. So is that all?
Yes. Okay. So
Then
that's
what's the
analogous
conclusion?
to gender, right?
So the conclusion is this makes it
also
analogous to gender.
Yes, it does, because gender also has an objective aspect to it and a cultural aspect to it.
Great.
A societal aspect.
Great.
So they both have both objective and social aspects. Except you only define race as the objective aspect. You don't care about the social aspect.
Wonderful.
With gender,
what's the
you look
social
at
aspect of
only,
race?
like culture, language, how you eat, what just there's cultural aspects to it. Like,
Whoa, that's
I
not.
can see that somebody is
Hold
African American.
on. Stop. Do those things make you that race?
No, they do not.
What makes me black?
Absolutely not. Your physical traits that come from your ancestors.
I'm sorry. My physical traits
Your
make
physical
me black.
characteristics.
My physical characteristics
like how you look,
make
right?
me
Your
black.
skin color,
How I look makes me
hair,
black. Wait, stop. So if I meet somebody who, for say, has the same type of hair as me, but they're white, can they say that I'm black because they have the same hair texture as me?
I mean, there's mixed race people too.
That's
right?
not what
Just
I
like
asked.
Intersex people.
Except that isn't what I asked you.
There is no clear line between the races.
If I meet
Is
a
that what you're
mixed
saying?
race person? No. What I said was, if I meet a white person with features that are similar to mine, can they say they're black because we share features? That's what I asked.
Very good point, Jovan.
So
thank you for making
yes
that.
or no?
Now there is no definite distinction between one race and another, right? The traits are kind of interchangeable. Now you can generalize.
Hold on.
You
I
can
don't
generalize
know. Stop. All I need is the answer. The answer is no, they can't, because there's no definitive of the traits. So if there's no definitive of the traits, how do I know that I'm black when I have these traits?
Because you generalize based on basically like stereotypes, basically, right? So I could tell that your ancestors, just by looking at you, that are probably,
because you generalize
right?
based on stereotypes. That doesn't tell me why I fit into the category of black. Where'd that category come from?
Because
how do I know I fit into this category?
Of the characteristics.
It's almost like the category was created by a state oppressive force, and I fit into the category distinctions that they created when they made that category. Huh? A little bit, maybe?
Wrong.
So then,
you fit that category.
Oh my
Jovan, can I tell you why you fit the category?
Chris. Why did my ancestors fit the category of black?
Because they have the physical because they have the physical characteristics.
The physical characteristics decided by who?
Look like.
The physical characteristics decided by who?
But those are social. Today,
decided by who?
People. Like, okay, if you ask anybody, how does a black person look like? I didn't give you specific characteristics.
So just generally, people somewhere. Just people somewhere, right? People somewhere created it. We don't know who. Just some people decided who was black.
The creation.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's important to hear. It's how it's.
Is it?
Creation
I'm sorry. Stop talking, Chris.
Okay.
Fucking Christ, dude. The creation isn't important. Meanwhile, when I'm telling you the distinction is that because race is an external classifier placed upon us by a state, which would entail the creation of race, and gender is not a external classification placed upon us by the state. And you're going, well, the state doesn't matter. The creation in which it was created by a state oppressive force, that doesn't actually matter. Even though that's what I talked about in the beginning. Chris, I think you're trying very hard to stop talking. I didn't say it was your turn to speak yet. I think you're trying very hard to make this analogy work instead of actually using your brain to critically think for more than 2 seconds.
No, you're
And that's
trying
what's
your hardest not to
frustrating.
make the analogy work because you want to say it's an external thing.
Amazing,
but it's not.
amazing. I'm shut up. I'm muting you. Amazing to just say what I said back to me. That was so incredible. I absolutely love to just say the same thing I said back to me. That was incredible. That was just wonderful. It was amazing. Impeccable timing, Chris. To just repeat. Like, here's what I'm going to do. And I wrote this down so that way you can't run. You know? So that way you can't run away. So I wrote down my syllogism.
Analogy.
Chris, I don't know why you were talking. I said you were muted. It's just embarrassing. Nobody could hear you.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you my syllogism, okay, for why race is an external classification system placed upon us by a governing state body, typically. And what I want you to do is tell me if you can deconstruct that syllogism. Tell me if you can find flaw in it. P1. Are you ready? I wrote this down. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
P1, category whose legal definitions and boundaries are established and enforced by governments are state classifications. Do you agree with P1?
No. Wait, say that again? All categories that are established by governments? No.
I said categories.
Because they can be used socially, too.
I love that you didn't listen. I love that you didn't listen. You couldn't even say it. You couldn't even say it back properly. Categories.
No, 'cause I was trying to write it and I wasn't listening.
Categories whose legal definitions and boundaries are established and enforced by governments are state classifications.
I agree with that.
P2, throughout history, governments have established, revised, and enforced legal definitions of racial categories.
And yes, that's true.
Conclusion, therefore, race is a state classification. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Get the fuck out of here. Moving on from the fucking vapidness. Chris couldn't hack. Let's do a quick recap because I want to start doing recaps at the end of my calls. Chris couldn't hack the gender conversation. So instead, after I repeatedly said, I don't want to go down the racial route because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, decided let's go down the racial route, provided a dog shit syllogism for government classification. Then when I provided a syllogism, he agreed with my P1 and my P2, therefore having to agree with my conclusion because he did not find fault in my P1 or my P2. Goodbye, Chris. Let's give a shout out to Flow Easy for paying to move on from Chris's fucking nonsense. Said Chris has been voted off the island. Thank you for the super chat. Ice Axe, thank you for the super chat as well. So do you think a Nightwing Bat family film could be reasonably successful riding on Batman's coattails? Yeah, especially if they do like a post-Court of Owls story. That could be fun. Like, it's just so frustrating to me to go, I agree with your P1 and your P2, but I don't agree with your conclusion. Anyway, Alex said, I tried to call in to put Jovan in his place, but they got scared of me and wouldn't let me talk. I bet you $5 if I go back and look at the call. Let's go look at the call then. The calls record the call screening. Let's go look. You want to bet? Let's go check. Let's go see what actually happened. I'm not afraid to go see what actually happened. I bet you didn't say jack shit. I bet you were probably rude to the screener when they asked you simple questions. And so they didn't put you through because you wouldn't answer their questions. So let's go look. Let's go look. Let's go look. When did you call, Alex? There are tons of calls here. Which one is you? Gladly will go and pull it up. What time did you call? Open up your phone, okay, and tell me the time stamp on your call. Gladly. Because I'm sure, unless you're chicken shit, I bet it was a pronoun crash out. The screeners don't even ask for pronouns. No, Chris was paid to boot. He can't come back today. He can come back tomorrow if he wants. He can't come back today. My biggest issues with callers like Chris is that they're on a script and then they don't listen. The reason I know he wasn't listening is because he didn't even listen to my first syllogism. I had to repeat it and make him listen. Of course, when you don't listen. Anyway, Alex isn't giving me a thing, so we'll move on to the next call. Coming up next is Doug. Doug is calling from Florida to talk about topic number 1, capitalism is failing people. Doug is gonna tell me some things, I think. Let's take a look. Doug, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Hello, John. 34 and he, him.
Great. Doug, 34, he, him. Now, Doug, I believe capitalism is failing the majority of people in this on this planet. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
Well, pure capitalism is, I don't think we're quite there. It's probably more like a mixed system, but I mean, globally, if we're talking globally, I think we can look at the global rate of extreme poverty rate, which has declined. So that would be one point. But, and I would love to be able to have things like universal health care and stuff like that. But my concern is how do we pay for it?
Do you know how much the United States is paying per person right now for healthcare?
I think it's roughly 13 to 15,000. I could be wrong though. I don't have the empirical data in front of me.
Yeah, it's about 12 to 13. Do you know how much Canada pays per person for healthcare?
I'm unsure about Canada.
7,000.
Gotcha.
Now we're talking about a per capita number here, right? We're talking like proportionally. Canada has access to a universal healthcare system, and they pay less per person than we do. How are we going to pay for it? We already have the money. We're overspending right now. Most of the cost in healthcare is administrative bloat. We are already paying for it. We just need to reappropriate those funds properly.
Okay. So say hypothetically we enact a universal healthcare system. Would that increase or decrease the demand for healthcare?
There would be probably an initial run on doctors because people who have spent so long not having things treated would go to the doctors to get stuff treated. But then as preventative care starts becoming more commonplace, that would even out. And we would see wait times drop again, because right now people aren't getting things that they can. One of the biggest reasons why ER visits are so high is an ER is a place that you can go that will not take money from you that day, will bill you later and set you up with a payment plan, right? So you can't go to an urgent care as readily if you don't have an extra. Like, I just took my mom to urgent care. She didn't have insurance. I had to pay $300+ for my mother's urgent care visit. Tons of people don't have that. Yeah, tons of people don't have that. So you get a run on emergency care visits for things you shouldn't need to go to the emergency care for. All she needed was for a doctor to give her well, we didn't know it at the time, but she needed a COVID test. She didn't know what was wrong, so she was going to go to the ER for this reason, right? Instead, I was like, I'll pay whatever urgent care's cost is instead of you waiting and spending out thousands of dollars on an ER visit. I'll just do the urgent care, right? So we may see an initial run on doctors because people need to get that preventative stuff checked out. But as people are actively going to the doctors again, we're going to see those numbers start to dip and even out more because people are going and they're going to be able to get things that would typically send them to the ER done by their primary care doctor.
Right. Okay. That initial increase in demand would, in my opinion, lead to an increase in spending. So we would have to derive that money from somewhere. I think we can do it via taxes.
I don't think we would see. I don't think the spending would offset. But I don't care. I'll spend a little extra in taxes if it means that a mother of 4 can actually take her babies to the hospital without going into medical debt. I'll do that easily.
So that I agree, but that increase in taxes would likely lead to a higher cost of goods and services. It would be like a feedback loop.
Do you know what we could have done? How much did we spend on the Iran war so far?
Oh, I can't even begin to fathom. I have no idea. A lot, I would assume.
113 billion. 113 billion.
What? Oh, 113. Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's just initial estimates. It can be, once everything's tabulated, it could be close to $1 trillion, they say. But like, this is just initial base level estimates, not factoring in anything except the spending. Like, we're not factoring in munitions, repairs to our bases. We're not factoring the economic impacts. We're not factoring gas prices. We're factoring just the base level stuff. We could have easily covered universal health care for that.
And talking about that, sorry to go like a different direction. My concern there is too, with all those unforeseen costs, when we go to try to discuss our budget next year, my concern is they're just going to ask for another disproportionately ridiculous push in the DoD budget, which would then push the taxes to us and then increase goods and services. It's like the same loop.
Yeah, we have no, you're good. We have had the money to fund universal health care for a long time. It's just misappropriated. And I hate hearing, especially from the right, like, well, it's going to cost more money when their president has increased the deficit by like $8 trillion.
Huge, insane.
So like,
I agree.
If we're going to increase the deficit anyway, let's do it while also preventing people from going into medical debt. That would be great.
Yeah, I agree that would be great. But I just my concern is the feedback loop of, well, we'll need more money next year because increased demand would occur. And then with the universal healthcare system,
but you're not counting in the decrease after that bloat has passed, because people aren't going to be going to the, like, you got to think, how much money does the United States government pay on people who default on their ER bills? Like, those hospitals get that money. They just get it in the form of government subsidies. They get that money back.
Which would, but that government or the government spending has to come from somewhere. So there is
less money to spend when you cure someone of being sick than when all you do is manage. Under our current system, management is the best bet because you make the most money managing. So you spend the most money managing, but you make the most. We can move away from a management system when it comes to healthcare, and we can move to actually curing people of these things. What is it? They just fucking cured sickle cell the other day?
What was that?
I think they just fucking cured somebody of sickle cell the other day. You think that's going to get like massively produced? Yeah, I'm pretty sure awesome. I read that.
And then another concern with universal healthcare is then how do you regulate this? Like, who decides the scarce resources? Who decides, because there's only so many doctors, there's only so many CT machines, X-ray machines.
In our system, are we? Dude, we have we have an overflow of doctors to the point where some doctors can't even work right now. We do have a
But why do
nursing
you think so many
shortage. We do have a
doctors
nursing
come here?
shortage.
Yeah, we do, especially in my state. But why do you think so many doctors come here now?
Why do I think so many? Because we have a larger specialty market, like a market for specialists. We have a larger market for that. You're not
So you
people
think
aren't
they're
coming over
incentive?
here. Yeah, people aren't coming. Doctors aren't coming over here to be general practitioners. They're coming over here for
Right,
specialty
right.
stuff because we've cornered the market. Like we have way more specialist care. That's why Canadians even come to the U.S. We just have the specialist care, right? We have those specialist care doctors that other places don't have. But like your average
Like
general
that.
practitioner is not immigrating to the U.S. to be a GP.
Right. Do you think the ones that immigrate here to practice, what do you think their motive is to come here? Do you think it's profit incentive? Or
I think there are
what do you
plenty of them whose motive is profit, but I would like those people to not be doctors anymore. Like if your motive is profit, please go open a bakery or some shit. Don't be a doctor. Because all that's telling me is you're fueled not by quality of care, but by fatness of your wallet.
That would be nice, but I just feel I would love for that to be the case, that all the doctors I see had, not money in mind, but it does seem that a lot of them are, and I don't
Then
think
do you
that
know
would
what
be
we need to
something that we
do?
could
Do you know what we need to do? Make it so that
What's that?
even if you're not in favor of universal higher education, I am, but even let's say you're not in favor of that. You know what we should have for
Mhm.
free?
What's
Universal
that?
med school. If our thing is, hey, there's not enough doctors, we need more doctors,
Mhm.
and doctors are largely influenced by profit. If you made med school free, you're going to get way more people becoming doctors because everybody who has the urge to do it just because they want to do good is going to actually be able to. So make med school free.
Then we run into the. Sorry, go ahead.
Then we run into what?
We run into that feedback loop from earlier. I think if we were to subsidize that, right, that would
But you're
also
looking
then
at
create
this.
the feedback.
You're looking at this as a. I'm looking at this as we're paying for a service. So yeah, it's going to cost
Mhm.
us money because we're like, just like if I order pizza, right, and I don't go pick it up, I'm paying a little extra because I want that service. It's like the post
Right.
office. The post office costs us money, but it's because it provides a service to us. We don't mind losing the money on the post office because it's providing a service that we all agree that we need and that we like. So I don't mind losing a little bit
Now,
of money on the healthcare thing and like the education thing if it gets us more doctors.
but my problem is it wouldn't be losing. It would actually just be increasing the cost of goods and services, and it would be a continuous feedback loop.
Homie,
of
that
higher
already happens. That happens whether we do this or not.
Right, because of
So
the
if it's already gonna
high subsidies. Right?
so if it's already gonna happen, why not like let it happen but also get something out of it? Right now we don't get anything out of it.
Because the debt's so high, and then if we continue on this rate, we will run into a failure. We'll run into a bottleneck in the like monetary supply versus our interest payments. So I think we'll run into a bottleneck. I mean, I
Yeah,
agree. I would
they keep
like all
telling me
these
that.
things,
They've
but
been
I
telling
just
me that since the 30s, and I haven't seen it happen yet.
the 30s.
Yeah, they've been telling us this since the last depression.
That if we subsidize more, then we need to tax or inflate, which increases the cost of goods.
No, that we're gonna
And
hit a
now
that
today,
we're gonna
cost
hit a
of goods
that we're gonna
services
no that
are
we're gonna
high.
hit a bottleneck with our debt.
Yeah, that's why things are so expensive, because we have to
I mean, maybe we
continuously
go
tax
back to
higher.
politicians who were able to create us a surplus. You know,
Yes,
bring
I like that.
Bill Clinton back into office and let's see what happens. But right
Yeah,
now,
I'm down for that.
right now we're at one of two things: either we can spend the money to fix our healthcare system and deappropriate or reappropriate those funds from other places, like our almost $1 trillion military budget, or we can just watch people keep dying. And I'm not willing to watch people keep dying.
My concern is without the and I disagree with that insane DoD budget. And then like earlier when I was said this, I almost feel like they're pushing this war into a place where they can just go back next year and ask for another insane increase, and it's just like we're getting screwed either way. We're going to end up paying that via taxation or inflation.
I don't what I just don't understand what that has to do with watching people die.
The same feedback loop. It's the same feedback loop as healthcare.
It's the same feedback loop as the healthcare.
Yeah, as the healthcare system. So government wants to spend more. We don't have the money. They have to come up with it from somewhere. So there's two places you can get the money from: taxation or printing. Either way, both of those increase the money supply.
Homie, but I've already said let's just reappropriate the money from somewhere else. We already have the
That's
money.
good, but we need. Well,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe that there's this infinite feedback loop that's gonna happen where it's gonna just get more expensive and more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. Typically, when we see costs increasing,
so high today.
How come inflation?
Correct. So that's my point, sir. You've now seen the feedback loop. That's my concern. I would love for all these things. I would love for universal health care, et cetera. But my concern is it's just the feedback loop that's just like a dual-edged sword.
I do you think inflation is this like, I'm not, I'll be here for another
I think
fucking 30
inflation
minutes.
is a sneaky way to tax the middle class by inflating the money supply.
I think that you believing this will inflate the money supply is a slippery slope fallacy that you would need to be able to demonstrate first.
What? I didn't hear the last part. What kind of fallacy?
A slippery slope fallacy.
I'm unfamiliar with what that is. I don't have a ton of like empirical data or.
I think you're saying this thing is going to lead to this thing, which is really, really bad. But I think you would need to better show how moving to a universal healthcare system is going to create this feedback loop that never ends. When we're already in a feedback loop
could I give it a 10?
You could try.
Okay. So in a universal system, I suppose you would need funding from somewhere. So that would be like high taxes, like increased income or payroll taxes. And I think you can also increase VAT taxes, but I don't quite understand those great. I know it's like a value tax that you pay, but I'm still a little not great on those ones. But I think that funding would have to come from somewhere. And there's really only a couple places you can get it from. It's increased taxes or you print more to the
but again, you're saying the funding would need to cost more, but we are going to have, if we implement this properly, an extra $3,000 to $4,000 per person that has now been freed up that we can spend elsewhere. So where's the feedback loop coming from?
Well, you're not considering so that initial refund, I think, would occur. But my concern is long term when we start to deteriorate our
I've already addressed why do you think the advanced technology would deteriorate?
Because the profit motive would no longer be there.
So,
and like I wish help.
Do you think the major do you think the major advancements in medicine have come because companies have wanted profit? No, they've come because the government has shoved a bunch of money into something because they believe that this will help the society. The COVID vaccine wasn't fast-tracked. What? That's not a profit motive. That's no, it's not.
Yes, it is, unfortunately.
I wish it wasn't,
though. I really do wish it was.
What are you talking about, Doug? The government throwing the money. Wait. This is what you're. Okay. This is giving me a headache. When we talk about profit motive, we would need to be talking about a company that's doing this sans any subsidies from the government.
Correct. And what is causing things to be so high in cost right now? And do you think that private money where profit was allowed to occur naturally, but then advance technology further because there's more profit available?
The money they're getting isn't from profit.
Not all of it. Some of it is in research and development, some of it, but largely it's government funded.
So then you keep going back to profit, but it's a subsidy.
Right, which increases the cost of goods and services, which gives the incentive to profit more.
How does the subsidy increase the cost of goods and services?
Because to subsidize, you need to derive that money from somewhere. You can't just move money back and forth. The pie needs to continue to grow. So you can get it from two places. You could tax, or you can print. If the money supply
Or you
grows,
can sell.
Sell what?
Does the government sell things to other governments to earn money?
Give me an example, like treasury. Like, where are we going?
What?
Treasury bonds, or what are?
How are you having this conversation? You don't know that our government sells stuff.
I'm asking you what specifically you're mentioning. I'm aware they sell stuff, but I'm asking you if you're in like the economics branch.
What is it? What is it?
Treasury?
Wait. What does it matter what they're selling? The whole thing is, you said there were only two ways to make the money, and it was either taxation or printing. But that's incorrect.
Right.
There are other options, such as selling, right?
Selling what?
Whatever they want.
The government can sell whatever they want.
Doug, either this has become a disingenuous call or you're vapid.
One
of those two things just happened.
We're neighbors. We live in the same state, my friend.
One of those two things just happened. Either this became a disingenuous call or I'm talking to AI.
We live in the same state, my friend. I'm not.
That means nothing to me. That means nothing to me.
You're my neighbor, and that's fine. You don't have to. It's fine.
It means nothing to me.
I'm not AI though.
So it's a disingenuous call.
Why would you think that? I'm trying to show to you that if we subsidize more, there's only two places you can get that money from. You can come up with
what do you mean? You literally just went to me. You said there are two things, there are two options. And I said the government can sell whatever they want to make that profit. And you went, so the government can sell whatever they want? That's the most bad faith response to what I just said that I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean. The government can take resources that are owned by the federal government. Do you not know? Genuine question. Do you not know that the government sells things?
I'm interested to hear your version of it.
No. Either you know it or you don't know it.
Well, you don't seem to. You can't explain it.
So you don't know it.
Do you know it? I asked if you wanted to go in the lane of treasury bonds. They sell treasury bonds to other countries. They sell those. That is one example that I've given. Give me your example.
Goodbye, Doug. There's no fucking shot, dude. There's no shot. There's no shot, bro. There's no shot, dude. There's no way. There's no way. Let's just go over the litany of things the government sells, chat. The government sells oil. They sell steel. They sell wood and timber. They sell agriculture byproducts. The government sells water rights to some of the water around the contiguous United States. But yeah, no, we definitely can only make money via printing and taxation. I'm going to jump. Today might be the day I fucking jump, bro. Jump in a video game? No, I'm going to commit. It's so frustrating to be caught in making an incorrect statement, to be caught in it and to go, well, the government can just sell stuff. Well, what can they sell? What do you mean? What can they sell? Whatever the fuck they have access to, whatever is legally theirs, whatever they own. What? How fucking crazy. Anyway. What are we doing? Dude, I'm sorry. I just annoys the shit out of me, bro. He just kept repeating. Yeah, one of the things you gotta start doing if you want to debate like I do, you gotta not let people get away with because I did in the beginning of the call. I'll just grant you that there's this feedback loop. And then I'm sitting here, I'm like, why do you think there's this feedback loop? Like, why do you think that it's always just gonna and when he said, well, but inflation exists, I almost lost my shit. Because it's this idea that inflation is always like just one gradual thing, and that industries don't fluctuate between costing more and costing less. That's annoying. It also ignores, did you order food? Nope, never did. Still hungry. You right though, chat. You right. I'm hopping off in a few minutes anyway. Still want pizza. But wherever I order my pizza from, they gotta make it well done. I want that shit crispy. Google what the government sells live and show the chat. What? Do you think the government doesn't sell shit? There's no way. What other comments has this person made? I need to know if they're because there's no way. Google what the government sells live on stream so we can all be on the same page. I just gave you a fucking list, dog. I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't do it, dude. I gotta be in the fucking Twilight Zone, dude. I gotta be. Now the claim is that the government primarily sells treasures. Incorrect. That's not true. The biggest thing the government makes its money off of is like asset forfeiture stuff. So like reselling shit it takes from other people. Google it. I love a Google it motherfucker. Could easily say, oh, I get my resources. I know it's true based on this source, and says Google it because they want you to find the answer for them because they don't actually have it. So instead, you should Google it. Then you'll have the answer. Birthday redeemed for Ghost Pepper Lollipop. Here you go.
You could be a birthday baddie too. A very happy baddie birthday to you.
Anyway. It's just so stupid, bro. It's so stupid. Like, they may mean in, like, terms of, like, they could mean in terms of, size in terms of, like, when you say the most, do you mean, like, monetary-wise? Yes, treasures make us the bulk of money, but, like, items-wise, we don't sell the most of treasures comparatively. We sell fucking thousands upon hundreds of thousands of seized property. But again, the government can also earn revenue from other places, which was the entire argument that I was having with him, is that selling things are that taxes and printing money are not the only. I'm sorry, am I wrong here? Chat, just let me know, chat. Scale of 1 being wrong, 2 being correct. Am I wrong here, or can the government earn money by doing more than just taxing and printing? Because if the answer is yes, then I'm right. Great. Glad we got there in the end. So stupid. These people are fucking morons. Great. I'm glad we all agree that the government can make money by doing more than just taxation. And what was the other shit the dumbass said? I don't remember. Let's take our next call. This is probably gonna be the last call. I'm gonna close the lines. Cause then I gotta take a food break before I'm live with Jimmy tonight. Coming up next is Michael from Washington calling to talk about what I believe to be topic number 4. Topic number 4. Michael from Washington. Michael, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Yeah, I'm 46.
Hold on, Michael. Stop. Hold on. Stop right now.
And
1 second, Michael. I'm sorry to meet you. Yo, dumb fuck. Am I right or wrong? Clive, you have 1 second to answer me right now, or you're going to get just booted from the chat forever. Right or wrong, can the government only make its money in 2 ways? Printing and taxation. Am I right? Is that right or is that wrong? I just want to know. Answer the question. If I see a chat that's not an answer to that question, I'm gonna boot. You're gone. Because it just shows me that you're a fucking cowardly piece of shit. So answer the question, Clive. Can you do it? You can't. Goodbye. Couldn't do it. Couldn't fucking do it. All right. Let me start the clock again so Michael doesn't lose time. All right, Michael from Washington. Michael, can I just get your age and pronouns one more time? Sorry.
yeah, 46, he, him.
Thank you, Michael. Sorry, I had to deal with the trash in chat for a second. All right, Michael,
Yeah.
I believe that gender affirming care saves lives. This is also included when it comes to minors. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
I disagree.
Okay, so can you point to me how gender affirming care does not save lives?
Because I feel that they're already confused enough as kids, and to identify them as what they weren't born as to something else is confusing to the world after that. So now this kid is going to grow up even more confused about who he truly or she truly is.
So, Michael,
And
my
it just
claim
makes
is
a
that gender
difficult
affirming care
situation.
saves lives. You're now switching
Yeah.
it to, well, they're confused. But my claim is not about confusion.
Well,
It's about the lives that gender affirming care saves.
well, it puts it points like the gun at him. So now
It
this guy
points
comes
the gun
in or
at
this
them.
girl comes in, gets the care right, changes their gender. Now everybody that knew them before then, making fun of them, they become basically the clowns of the century, right? Everybody's talking about them,
So I
talking down on them.
assume then
Now it's a target on
you
their
have
back.
some evidence that gender affirming care for minors leads to an increase in mental health issues.
Correct. That's what I do believe that.
Okay, what's the evidence for
So
that claim?
and it makes them a target. Just
Sure,
look at
that's
the
not that's
transgender community now. They're a
that's
target, right?
Michael, I'm sorry, that's not evidence though.
So nobody targets the LGBTQ and like
Trans people are targeted
race-based
whether they
them and
trans people are targeted whether they transition or not. I asked you for proof that them transitioning creates more mental health issues for them.
yeah,
That's what
just
you
like the
need to
law that just
substantiate.
was banned. They just like in sports. Now trans can't perform sports like they want to with men. So now
Michael,
what's that kid got to do?
that is not evidence, Michael.
That's not evidence. It just happened
No.
in Puyallup, right
No,
around the
that's
corner from me.
No, that isn't evidence, no.
So there's not a law right now that says no men in women's
It's not-
sports. That was just a
No,
law that just passed.
technically no, that's not it wasn't a law that was passed. It was a
It's
Supreme
a
Court
policy or a
Hold on,
rule.
Michael. It was the Supreme Court saying schools could discriminate in this way if they wanted to. Right? That's not a law. That's not a rule. It's just saying that schools get to determine who plays in school sports. But what I'm asking you is for some
Well,
type of evidence that shows me that when a child transitions, either socially or medically, that they have worse mental health outcomes than were they not to transition.
okay, I don't have any physical evidence of that except for
Okay.
the one about the sports.
Now here's
all I have.
here's what I have. I have
Mhm.
evidence that gender transition not only helps, but it lowers mental health comorbidities and suicidality of trans kids by upwards of 70%.
And that's something read. So that's
Yep.
not a law. That's just something that you just read off to me.
Well, I don't know what
I've never even heard
I don't
of
know
that.
why a law I don't know why a
So
law would
how is that proof if you just said it? Just like you
What?
said, mine isn't proof
because I
said
have
it, or
because I have a peer-reviewed study.
oh, it's just because a whole bunch of students wrote a report on it.
Students. No, this would be written
Yeah,
by
peer reviewed.
Do you think
A bunch of
peer-reviewed
students
means that
did reviews on it. So
peer
somebody
doesn't
read a document in a newspaper, and then some other kids took the document and edited and did whatever they wanted to do with it, did a report on it, and then it
Michael.
keeps getting filtered through the system, and now
Oh,
it becomes
Michael.
belief.
Oh no, Michael, no, that's not what peer review means, bud.
That makes it the truth.
Oh no, Michael, that's not what peer review means, bud.
What when they do when you got to get resources and documentation, right? They go out and nobody edits that stuff,
No, that's not
and
what
then you
peer
can
review.
find it on the internet here,
No,
and you can track it all down.
no, that's not what peer review means, bud.
Okay.
Peer review. I'm going to tell you this because I think you genuinely don't know. Peer review just means that people that are your peers in an academic field. So, for instance, if I was a PhD candidate in biology, if I had my PhD in like evolutionary biologist, for instance, like if I had my PhD in evolutionary biology and I write a paper, the people that are going to review it are going to be my peers. So it's going to be other people with relevant degrees in the
Opinions.
biological field. They're going to review my work to make sure that work is scientifically sound, because we can't just take one person's opinion. We would want that opinion vetted by other people in the field.
So you said that's a scientific study?
If I'm doing a scientific study or journal or writing something like that, it would be peer reviewed. So that way people can look, specifically peer review is people looking for flaws in your work to try to say your work
Right.
is wrong because of X, Y, or Z. So if something is peer reviewed and it passes peer review and makes it to publication, typically that means that the people who reviewed your work didn't find any massive flaws in it.
So they're somewhat credible opinions.
Correct. They're I wouldn't call them opinions because, right, these are studies, but so they're not necessarily opinion based, but these are credible studies done by people in the field who are looking for, I mean, I won't say answers, but who are looking for the appropriate answers using the scientific method to a hypothesis that they have.
Okay.
So they're using, for instance, when we look at, okay, whether or not medical transition helps trans kids, a way we would do this is by looking at children who are not currently taking, or looking at children before they take any medical affirming care to see, okay, what is your baseline, okay, as a like baseline mental health thing, giving them the care, and then seeing what their mental health is after the care is completed or ongoing. And if giving the care leads them to having better mental health outcomes, then we know that there's a causal link between that care and their mental health.
Right. But what I'm saying, there's not enough evidence done because technically, right?
Why would you think that?
Transgender or LGBTQ hasn't been around for that long to study the after effects of this care.
We have studies that go back 50 years.
I don't think that's still enough time. Think about the Bible. That's still being studied.
Whoa. If we're just talking about whether somebody's mental health improves, 50 years is way longer than the standard of proof.
Do you think that's enough?
To tell if your mental health
just like
improves?
the Bible, it's still being discussed, studied.
But we're talking about whether it improves your mental health. This isn't like, hey, can we study this disease to find a cure? We're studying to see if this treatment helps their mental health. Realistically, you're only going to look.
It could happen. It's
increase, saying that it does,
but it's not all the way 100% proven.
No, it's saying that it does.
To be a fact, it has to be 100%, right?
No.
A fact doesn't have to be 100%.
This isn't okay.
The truth. That's partial truth. 70% is partial.
Michael, I'm trying here because
if you were shooting free throws, and you shoot 70% free throws, you missed 3, so you didn't get 100.
Mikhail, please listen to me here. I think that there is some way that I can get through to you here, but right now what's happening is you're pushing up against your own cognitive biases right now. And this is normal.
So I'm bigot.
This is what
I'm a bigot.
What?
That's being well, I'm having a bias against. I'm not against it. I'm just saying it.
I take it back.
Fully proven.
I take it back. I sat here and said I think you might be reachable, but I disagree after that one. I don't think you're actually reachable.
Snap.
I think you might be stupid.
I'm on the wrong side. Oh, the name calls.
Yeah, I was trying real hard, Michael. But the fact that I was like, I
don't
think
you tried
pushing
hard
up
because I didn't call you a name at all.
I mean, I don't care when people call me names. I think the problem is I sat here and said that you had a cognitive bias and you took that as, oh, so you're calling me a bigot. There's really nothing I can do here. I don't think you have the understanding. So I will leave you with this, jovanbradley.com. It's my website. It has my resource document. It has my gender affirming care sources easily there for you to see all of the help gender affirming care does to people. And I'm gonna cut it there. I heard the saxophones on that one. If I continued that call, I was gonna have a stroke. I was trying to be really, really helpful there. Until that moment, I just couldn't do it anymore. For those who maybe don't know, when I say someone has like a cognitive bias, what I'm saying is their brain has sort of formulated an opinion or idea, and they're unable to get past that because of some cognitive bias in their brain. That doesn't necessarily, it's not me calling you a bigot. That's our show. I'll see you guys at 5 o'clock for Calling It Out with Jimmy. Bye. Thank you all for watching this video. If you don't know me, I'm Jovan Bradley. I'm a Why does it still do that?
Who
does debates, political commentary.
I need to write a note to fix that. I'll fix that for next stream.
Thanks for sticking to the
I'll
end,
leave a note
and I
for
hope you
myself right
subscribe.
now.
Thank you to all my YouTube members. Your continued support helps me create as much as I can. Consider joining. A membership starts at $2.99 and gets you access to early video drops, our community Minecraft server, and our community Discord, where we host
Only like 2 of you play on that Minecraft server, by the way.
From creators of all kinds. And
why do
our
we keep that open? Only like 2 of you play.
Shout out to my tier 4 members who go above and beyond to help keep my content as accessible and regular as it currently is. They're on the screen now. Your support goes a long way in helping me to continue the fight for equity, justice, and education. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay educated.